There we go. Yeah, I miss you guys. I really, really miss you guys. I'm sorry. Things have been a little crazy because I am getting ready. I am taking off for DC tomorrow. And so I've been trying to get things ready, make sure I'm G to G. And so I had to make sure that I was like taking care of business and all that or whatever. So anyway, guys, as we get in, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll boost the live. It'll push us out to the FYP. If you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. And you guys know how we do this. You know what we do here. So let's go ahead and kick it off.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing.
Bow, bow.
Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game.
Hey guys, tap the screen, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll boost live, push us out to the FYP. Also, can we knock out the daily gift for us a little pink heart press? Please and thank you.
No safe walk. Break stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey.
Step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air.
Ain't no
rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong,
get cooked real quick.
No
cap, no shield. Better know your stuff
for you.
Get revealed.
Step in, don't you wanna?
Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat. You talk slick, but you ain't got source. Just vibes, that ain't power, that force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call. You slip once, I'm snatching it all. Yeah. Step in if you dare. You dare. Get hard like a punch in the air. Punch in the air.
Ain't no
rules, no plan, no script. Yeah.
One wrong,
get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. No. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare. You dare. Get hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Yeah. This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame.
It absolutely is.
Sparring with Santana.
Ba-da. Bang, dang. Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin to boost the live and push us out to the FYP. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, guys, share the live maybe once or twice. That absolutely helps the live. But more than that, make sure that you are reposting the live. Reposting the live helps a ton. Guys, please only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Also, if you are over on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and you disagree and you would like to debate, click that link. You don't even have to leave where you are. Just click that link and we can get active. See if this person's going to load. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or something in the background?
No, I just want to say respectfully, fuck Trump, bro. Love watching your shit, bro.
I appreciate that, but please don't do that. Guys, seriously, I love you guys to the moon and back, but please, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Yes, FDT, and I love you more, but please, guys, we're looking for some debates, and I've been itching for some debates. I don't know if you guys saw me just a few minutes ago, but it's like I need it. So again, I'm going to say this one more time. Please respect the boundaries of the live. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. If you want to get a message across, you can. You can put it in the chat. I read the chat a lot. If it's super important, the mods will get it to me. Or if you want to make sure that I read it, or you want to make sure that I answer a question, you can send it through the pay links, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. I will read those out, and I will.
I love you, Santana. Directly. You converted me. I love you. I love you with all my heart. You're G.
Seriously, guys, like that. I'm being polite, but please stop that. I'm really serious right now. I'm being polite, but please stop that. That's not cool. And you're absolutely disrespecting boundaries. That's not funny. That's not cool. Please stop. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Okay. I just blocked you. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Hi, David. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I am not a Trump supporter anymore. I do disagree with one thing that, well, I think two things that you got posted up on the background.
Okay. All right. Not an issue at all. We can definitely get into it. But David, before we go too far, quick question. Do you know who I am? I'm sorry, Dave. Dave, I apologize. Dave, do you know who I am?
Only by hearing what you had to say on Parker's last little live stream. I caught on to some of the stuff that you were saying, so I was like, I gotta go talk to this guy.
Okay. Listen,
because you're left. You're hardcore left, right?
I am. Would you mind if I give you a proper introduction to not only who I am, but what this is?
Sure.
All right, perfect. Give me 1 second here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. Guys, if you are a friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll boost the live, push us out to the FYP. We have Dave here. Dave, you said you have two things on the background that you disagree with. Which one do you want to start with?
Who just got brought in? Am I getting ganged up on or what?
No. Hey, mods, we're good. You guys don't need to send anyone up while we have someone up here. We're good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So number one, let's start with defund the military.
Okay. All right. What is your issue with defunding the military?
My issue is I think we need our government to defend us from things that we can't defend ourselves. So we got to have some sort of military. You can't just 86 the military 100%.
Who said anything
are
about
you that position?
Who said anything about 86 in the military?
Well, when you say defund the military, if you got no money, you got no military, right? If no one's getting paid or you can't send no more money to it, you're going to have a bunch of empty bases, empty ships, empty, you name it, right? Is that fair?
That would be accurate if that's what defund means. I got you. Don't worry about it. Dave, when I say defund the military, it's based off of a couple of different things. First and foremost, it's based off the premise that we currently have a $1 trillion military budget, and Donald Trump is actually advocating for a $1.5 trillion military budget. We have the largest military budget in the world. If you add the next 14 military budgets together, then we still have the largest military budget in the world. If you cut our current military budget in half, we still have the largest military budget by $300 billion. So what I'm actually advocating for is not only a cut in spending, but a reallocation of funds to ensure that we're using those additional funds to do things that are beneficial to everyday Americans, like setting up universal health care, giving a free public option for higher education. I also want to pay our troops more. But more than that, I want us to make sure that we are auditing the Pentagon and the military budget so there's no wasteful spending. And last but not least, it'll give us an opportunity to actually build closer and stronger alliances with those other people that are in the 14. Did you know of the next 14 top military budgets, 11 of them are officially our allies? And if you listen to, what's her name, Caroline Levitt, apparently India is our ally now too as well. So at the very least, 12 of the 14 were friendly. So my point is if we look at reimagining the military spending, we can still do all the things that we're currently doing. We can still have the most powerful military on earth while taking care of American citizens. And at the same time, ensuring that we are building alliances.
I can't disagree with anything that you said there, other than to add a few counterpoints that bang up against a couple things that you say. And here's where I'm going to go with that. We have to have a military. I think you and I agree on that. I think you're where you're at is like 1 trillion to 1.5 trillion. That is an astronomically grotesque amount of money that we do not need to spend on military. And I agree with you. But here's the problem, man. It's corrupt and it ain't never going to get fixed. The military is, it's like its own entity. So we're darned if we do and we're darned if we don't. Does that make sense the way that I explain that? Like, we've got to have some military, but man, it doesn't make sense to you?
Mm-mm. No, it doesn't make sense, but only in the sense of like the fact that saying that this is how it is and that's how it's been, that's unacceptable, right? Think about this.
Yeah.
Now, what did you think about Doge when you heard about thank you for the cake, when you heard about the idea of Doge?
I thought about it and thought it was going to do exactly what ended up happening. It basically was going to accomplish nothing. And you want to know why?
Sure.
There's so much control within our government. Let me paint this picture for you, because I'm a visual person.
Okay.
You play chess, or do you know the game of chess?
Yeah, I play chess.
Right? Okay. I would consider you and I to be pawns on that chessboard. I would consider somebody like
I'm more like a knight.
I'm going to put,
anyway, go ahead.
Just hear my theory out. I'm going to put somebody like Donald Trump and other politicians into the category of like knight. Kings would probably be other world leaders. I'm sorry. People moving the pieces are people that you and I are never going to know about.
There's only
never
one
even going to meet.
Hold on. If we're going to talk about this, we have to do it right. Give me a second. All right, you were saying.
Okay, you said there was only one king, and then
I'm talking about the game of. I'm talking about the game of chess, but you were telling me about the people that we don't know that's running the world. Tell me about it.
I wish I could. I wish I could point the fingers and tell you, but if you can name a name, it's not somebody that's relevant enough that is enough of a piece to control. Because here's the situation with both sides of the aisle of our government. Man, we are owned. We are owned to the nth degree. And the reason that we're owned is because politicians, whether they're on the left side of the aisle or the right side of the aisle, they can be purchased. They can be purchased because like that.
Wait, hold on. See, that's not conspiracy theory though. Like, that's actually something we can see. Did you know that there's open information as far as like lobbyists that pay politicians? Did you know that the average cost for
and you think that politicians only get paid above board? You don't think they get paid in other ways or below board? You only think it's just public record?
Oh my God. Okay, wait. If you're gonna go there, give me a second, Dave. God damn it. All right, I just need to make sure I had the right one for you. All right.
What is this? Is this the tinfoil hat?
No, this is the industrial strength tinfoil hat. This is for like when it goes way beyond. Go ahead, you got the floor.
Oh, okay. So here's where I'm at. Politics are so screwed up on both sides of the aisle because politicians can be paid for. You were just on Parker's podcast or his live. I could call it a podcast. You were just on Parker's live talking to that dude from Texas.
Yeah.
And y'all were literally talking about a campaign for Senate that's going to cost like $350 million bucks. Bro, how have we even gotten to that point where a senatorial race is going to cost okay, but that needs to go. None of these problems that you're talking about, none of these like this whole expensive military, all this stuff that we're talking about. The way that
it goes is none of that's going to for people that actually continue to line their pockets with it, like voting Republican.
But you cannot get elected unless you allow those people to line your pockets. Give me an example, somebody that's in office right now whose pockets are not lined.
Congresswoman, damn it, I'm gonna mess up her name. God damn it, Congresswoman Jalapal. God damn it, I had to pronounce her name so many times. In Washington State, she's not. She doesn't take PAC money. The corporate
I'll give
PAC
you,
money,
I'll give
and
you
you
one.
can check stocks. Like, do you know who Nico is?
Nico?
Yeah.
Nico. Is that an acronym or is that an individual?
That's an indivivial. Nico, he's one of my buddies. Have you ever seen like the videos here on TikTok? And he's like, "Is your politician a piece of shit?" Have you seen that?
I have not seen it. I have not.
So Nico's pretty dope, but Nico has an actual website, and he's been running this information. He and I have been talking about this, and he's been digging into the amount of PAC money that's taken and also stocks that are traded. He does like the actual grading for politicians, and it's based off of a couple of different metrics. But the point that I'm getting across is that there's plenty of politicians that don't actually take corporate money, PAC money, all of those types of things. So like your entire premise is false. And even if you take a look at like the way that Zoran Mandani, because I see people spamming in the chat, but the way that Zoran Mandani won his campaign was literally powered on the back of small donors.
I'm going to tell you, all the problems that we're talking about right now are not going to go away until you get rid of the ability for super PACs to fund politicians, man. There's so much money in politics.
Yes, we have to overturn
and the stuff that we see on the surface is only a drop in the bucket. It's only a drop in the bucket. The stuff that we see that's reported, like that pales in comparison to the stuff that's under the table that we don't even get access to.
Yeah, but so all right, you're saying
you got
this.
The conspiracy.
Wait, but hold on. You're saying this, but yet you used to support Donald Trump. So I'm assuming that you voted for him.
I did. Yeah.
Like you put him in power. Like he's literally the most corrupt president in United States history.
Well, I live in Colorado. I live in Colorado, so technically I did, and all my electoral votes in my state went to Harris.
Yeah, but
so I voted for him. My vote didn't work.
Like you still supported him.
I did.
But the whole thing is, you believed it.
I was so. I got to be honest with you, man. After voting for him, and let's say he's a year and a half into his presidency, I am so convinced. I do not think it matters who we vote for right now. For some of the points that you've been making about, you talked about, name that PAC again that you mentioned earlier in our conversation.
APAC.
No. You mentioned some other big organization that's responsible for campaign financing.
Citizens United.
Citizens United. Okay, so that's one of many. Until we get rid of that stuff, man, it does not matter who we vote for. The same people are going to get the same results no matter who goes into office.
There's multiple politicians. Again, I've already highlighted that there's multiple politicians that don't take PAC money, that don't actually engage as far as corporate money and all those. They don't do the lobbyists. But like even more than that, if you wanted to truly get money out of politics and you wanted to actually do something beneficial, then you could start by actually supporting candidates who wouldn't actually do what you're saying. Like literally the point that you're trying to make doesn't really land when you're not doing the things to stop the people that are actually doing the things. You get what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. Have you heard of, you know who Thomas Massey is out of Kentucky?
No, I've never heard of Thomas Massey in my life.
You've never heard of Thomas Massey?
I'm being facetious.
Do me.
I'm being facetious. Okay. It's literally, I literally do this every day. How
so you may, okay, fair enough. So you may or may not agree or disagree with his positions on where he stands. One thing that I will tell you is he's one of those politicians that you're talking about. He takes money from like grassroots. He doesn't get funded by big time like political PACs or organizations. But look what's happening to him. Like they're trying to smother him. Why is that?
Well,
it's because money controls politics, man. It's that simple. It's that simple. That's never going to go away. I've wrestled with that so hard in my head. It's never going away. It is never going away, man.
Well, I'm sorry, 1 second. Yeah, so the actual issue, again, you keep saying this, but there are multiple entities that are actively fighting and trying to remove and even like pass legislation when it comes to stock trading. They're trying to pass legislation when it comes to just having different things. Like your entire premise is
Congress just voted against 86ing a slush fund to pay off people that get sexually harassed by members of Congress. They're all on the same team, bro. They are all on the same team. What's that?
Power?
Who has power?
Yes. Who has
he or she with the most money has the power.
In Congress. Who has power in Congress?
Oh, you're talking about like left versus right? Yes, I think the Republicans hold the majority.
Yes.
The Republicans hold the majority in the House by a small number, and they hold the majority in the Senate by I think 4 or 5 seats.
And the presidency, right?
And the presidency, correct.
So again, if you felt like there was a need to actually fight back or actually ensure that our actual votes mattered and the people mattered, and it wasn't just about like the corporate lobbyists and all this other stuff, then you would stop supporting Republicans as a whole, and you would hold yourself accountable. See, this is the thing that I have, like the issue.
I don't support.
This.
I've come to the point.
Sure.
I've come to the point in my life. I don't support any of them.
Wait. See, and this is what I was just about to say. You, and people like you are part of the reason why we're in the mess we're in right now. But now that your third eye open, you're like, oh, I don't want to support any of them. How did you bring us to this ball, but you don't want to dance? Like we're here because people like you, and now you're just saying, oh, it's all fucked up. You guys figure it out. That's fucked. If you broke it, you broke it, you bought it. You got to help fix this shit.
But you're saying I broke it because of the way that I voted?
Yes, your support, you and people like you, not just you. Because I mean, saying you as just an individual, that's hyperbolic.
But see, you could. But I don't want to. What I don't want to do is go to that level of pointing the finger at the left side of the aisle and saying that they're the problem because they voted their way.
Point at them too. Point at all of. Listen, this is something I tell people all the time, and I think people have a lack of like true understanding as far as electoral politics. And one of the reasons why Black people normally vote progressive, it's not because we're Democrats, right? It's literally because we vote for progression and like harm reduction. And so being tied to any type of political party, like it's a sports team or whatever, like it's fucking weird. And if the Republican Party were actually trying to do things that were progressive and that were going to help the everyday Americans, then Black people would vote Republican. It's not about the party for us. Like, we don't have this party allegiance. We just want progression and harm reduction. So if more people took that actual stance instead of thinking because Trump gave you a red hat that you're special, like we wouldn't be where we are today. But even more so, if people held politicians accountable instead of having a favorite politician, then like we would be in a better place. Having a favorite politician is weird as shit.
I don't disagree. I got two fundamentals. I got two fundamentals that I think.
Let me thank a couple of people because I'm getting behind and I don't want to get too far behind. Give me 2 seconds if you don't mind. W's in the chat for Twan. Twan sent a $5 donation saying, good to see you watching from work. Almost done with my shift and ready to see you cook MAGAs. Thank you for the cake. You know it, Twan. 20s, not 20. 20. W's in the chat for Kayla for the $10 donation saying, so close to 100,000. It's insane how much Dean and Parker yeah, no, listen, they're awesome, and I appreciate you, and thank you so much for that $10 donation. You're fucking awesome. W's in the chat for Angie. Angie sent $15, said DC Fund, sending daily love. Well, Angie, I will be putting that towards the actual trip. Thank you so much for that $15 donation. W's in the chat for Hannah, who sent a $1 donation saying, hey, fellow leftists, I work in international logistics, current trends estimate 2K war surcharge. Holy shit, 15% decrease in air freight capacity. Always happy to expand if needed, but these costs will be passed on. Yeah, it's all of the costs are being passed on, but that makes perfect sense because you know why? Fuel affects everything. I actually have an MBA in supply chain management and logistics, so like that makes perfect fucking sense, especially with air freight. W's in the chat for Casey for the $5 donation saying, I'm behind on the live, just want to send some love. Thank you so much, Casey. W's in chat for you. W's in chat for Kaylee for the $1 donation saying, hey, Santana, this is the video editor again. Want to see if you were able to. No, I didn't. Can you send me an email again? I would love to actually, I need to download that. Please, 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 Kaylee, send me the email with the actual download information. W's in the chat for Mero, who sent a $5 donation saying, Dave, you're part of the problem by accepting this BS. Listen, kind of cooked on that one. And last but not least, W's in the chat for Soup Kit, I think it's pronounced, who sent a $10 super chat to say, love the Holy Trinity of Santana, Parker, and Dean. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you. W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Also, guys, we're on our way to 100,000 followers. So if you look up at the top up here and you see the word follow, you're not following me. Right there. Hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. We're so close to 100,000 followers. We're trying to get to 100,000 followers. Please, please, please. If you're over on YouTube, we're trying to get to 20,000 followers on YouTube and 2,000 on Twitch. All right, Dave. You were going to give me another conspiracy theory.
Yeah, quick question. It's not a conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. I don't go live or talk on TikTok that much. Why are there these rules like for certain actions that people are trying to refer to? Like you have to use the word grape instead of another word, or you have to use unalive instead of another word on TikTok. Why is that? Why are those rules in place? Like what's going on with that?
Well, it's TikTok terms of service. This is a children's app. And so depending on the words that you use, that you could be, you know, they can put you in a kibosh.
I understand. Okay, fair enough. Okay, 2 points I was going to make. Number one, our founding fathers screwed up in two spots. Number one, they didn't put enough into the Constitution to keep big money out of politics, like these big super PACs and these big corporations and these people that want their policies influenced.
That's why we need a new Constitution.
That's A.
Wait, that's why we need a new Constitution.
B, term limits.
Don't sit here and pretend like you don't hear me. That's why we need a new Constitution. Both of those things that you just said, that's why we need a new Constitution.
I can't go there.
You literally just highlighted two. You highlighted two things that was the exact reason why we need a new Constitution.
A brand new Constitution. You just want to rip it up, create anarchy, and start over. Like what's your game plan for a new Constitution? I mean, that's like our political Bible per se. That's how we operate as a country. We fall back on the Constitution, right? So if you just want to rip it up, which I'm not necessarily, I understand your point behind that, but if you just want to rip it up and start over, do you not see a mass amount of chaos and anarchy there?
Watch me cook. All right. So this is my premise when it comes to the new Constitution. One, when the Constitution was written, who was it written for?
I know where you're going with this, and I don't disagree.
But who was it written for?
White men.
See, people always say that, but that's not even right. It's a little bit more specific than that.
No, I think that's pretty spot on, man. Back when they wrote the Constitution, slavery was legal.
Whoa. The Constitution was written for white men that own land. Specifically, white men that own land. You didn't get full access to rights.
I missed a piece of it. But
that's why I said it was
we were on the same page. We were on the same page.
Right. That's why I said it was a little more specific. So it was written for white men that own land. Right. And everyone else since then has been given rights. Now, the thing about that is not only has it been people been given rights, people have had rights taken away. There's constantly interpretations about rights. People are, being oppressed, and there's a lack of access overall to like everyone when it comes to rights. And so understanding that there are so many different things that have occurred and people are constantly attacking the actual Constitution. You can talk about what Donald Trump's currently doing right now with the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 14th, all of those, even hell, now apparently the 19th Amendment's on the table. Like all of those things lends itself to like the Constitution is so flawed that we need a new one where the basis of our new United States Constitution is ensuring that every single person has the exact same rights that are American citizens. No one has less rights. Everyone has the same amount of rights. Now, after we get past that, then we can start to actually negotiate rights and all this other stuff, but everyone should have the exact same rights.
I don't disagree with that. I'm on board with that.
I got one more though. I got one. I'm not gonna hold you. This is usually the Hollister. Do you like basketball?
I watch it.
Have you ever seen LeBron James do like the Hollister celebration?
I've not. My day was MJ, bro. Okay. And I'm not gonna go off. I'm not gonna go off on a huge tangent, but LeBron doesn't hold a candle to MJ, so.
Oh, good. Listen, so when LeBron gets ready to put the game away, he hits the Hollister, right? That's the move that he hits.
Signature move.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, was when he like pounds his chest twice and then he like pumps the air. So this is my Hollister. You ready?
Right.
You see that? Read this for me.
You want me to read it out loud?
Please.
The question whether one generation of men has a right to bind another seems to never have been started either on this or our side of the water, but between society and society or generation and generation. There is no municipal obligation, no umpire, but the law of nature. We seem to have perceived that by the law of nature, one generation is to another as one independent nation to another. On similar ground, it may be proved that no society can make a perpetual constitution or even a perpetual law. The earth belongs always to the living generation. Every constitution then and every law naturally expires at the end of 19 years. If it be enforced longer, it is an act of force and not of right.
Trey Harris, Tez Johnson, Carson Schlesinger, Travis, and Ernest. I think it's the best way to do flawless and national treasures, our serial numbers. All right, Mitchell, Derek Harmon, with a Teddy Bruschi, nice color match patch autograph for the Patriots. Scatterboo and Baker Mayfield. Who had the Pats?
Pats in this break was JTW.
JTW, nice Bruschi. That's so cool. That one's numbered 82 out of 149 on that Brewski. All right, we have Will Lutz with Cam Jurgens, Reek, Tyler Shuck, and Will Campbell. That next break has Prism and no huddle in it, so it's a little bit different. Tank Bigsby tie-dye. Nice. Evan Ingram, DJ Moore, Brock Bowers, Dylan. Yeah, once we get to 600K likes, already over 500, we'll do another Shop to Stand. That'll be like our 5th one of the night, too.
And that value break's already halfway full. I knew it would fill pretty quick because
it's a good
break and a good price break if you want to get in.
Yeah. All right, CJ Stroud, Thomas, Will Johnson, Judkins, Derwin. All right, we have McCaffrey, Russell Silver with Braylon, Tet, and TJ. All right, Graham Mertz, Milton Williams, Will Anderson, Byron, and Zay. All right, Mason Taylor with a Sam Darnold Seahawks. Evan McPherson, Jaden, and St. Brown. All right, not bad first box. It did give us that Teddy Bruschi and Omarion Hampton and a couple nice numbered cards. And box number 1. I'm gonna go discos here. Come on, green and 101. All right, empty box there. Ethan, we are the store. All right, we have Luther Burden, Tootin. We have Saquon Barkley. We don't get products from the store, Ethan, though. We have distributors. All right, we have Saquon Barkley, Disco there, Spencer, Hunter, and Lamar. That's why we're typically priced even cheaper than stores are. All right, we have Saquon Barkley on that Prism Disco for the Eagles.
Psyche Val down to the tier 3?
Yeah, you know that I completely forgot to mention that. That I'm going based off an older thought that I had about this. Again, this is something I haven't written down, but this is something that like I've had ingrained in my head. So pardon me there. No,
you're good. I was just thinking, I was like, I mean, I agree. Psyche Val, yeah, but six shooters can still fucking keep that the self-deletion rate high. You can still do damage and kill others with it as well. So that's
you're absolutely right. But you know that is a good point, and I mean, because tier 3 is supposed to be that entry level, sort of more welcoming. You know, that's what back when I was first thinking of it, I wasn't even thinking about psyche vals with it, because you know, having to sit down with a shrink and pour your heart out just to be able to go and get something for recreational or use or defense. No,
we should though.
Perfectly understandable. But yes, we can move psyche vals down to tier 3, so that way it is covered, and nobody or somebody can actually get help that they need, because that's also my huge contingency. Mental health and social services are going to be heavily funded during all of this, but that's only in a perfect world.
Well, yes, I got you. It needs to happen.
Yeah. But getting back on my soapbox, after the training, and after your training, after your curriculum, your testing, your psyche val, you're going to go through another very big. This time is going to be more in depth. If 7 days wasn't in depth enough, we're going to be looking at FBI records. We're going to be looking at or making sure that nobody at all has had any affiliations with any groups or movements. But not granted, I'm talking more about bedsheet people, if you catch my drift, or certain supremacist groups.
I got you.
And that being said, once things are good, once things are kosher, then you wait a month before you get your firearm from the intent to purchase.
And I always make the point that 19 years isn't necessarily the time frame that most people would think it is, right? I would akin it to 50 years or so, but the overall premise being that the actual Constitution is meant to be something that is not always perpetual, something that continues to actually change and grow and all this other stuff. So that's the entire point.
I see. Yeah, I'd have to wrestle with that one in my brain for a while before. Is the point that you're making that every 19 or 20 years, or if we wanted to extrapolate that to 50 years, you just start over with a new constitution?
No, just overall, my point is that understanding that the current United States Constitution was not founded or not created to be something that was just always here. Right. That's the issue. It wasn't something that was just always supposed to be here. And the way that people hold on to the actual Constitution as if it's always going to be something that should just be here. That's not even what our founding fathers wanted. And that's my big premise.
I am not going to try to pretend like I have dug into that issue well enough to try to debate whether or not our founding fathers intended the Constitution to be a 250-year document or whether they intended it to last 19 years. I would be out of my element to try to defend one position or another on that matter.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next person. I appreciate you coming up.
I had one other item on your list to you asked me that the first one we started on was defund the military.
Oh, okay.
The other one that you have, you said remove men leaders. So are you saying remove, it doesn't say all in there, but are you just saying remove men leaders, or are you saying remove some men leaders? What's the point of that statement right there?
Get them all up out the paint. They all got to go. Each and every one of us. Yep.
And then what?
And then we rest. And we look over a grateful world like Thanos after he did that. No. So the premise that I have when I say getting men leaders out, it's based off of the 250-year history of our country, right? Understanding that over the 250-year history of our country, 90% of men have, or 90% of leadership has been men, specifically white men. And since over the 250-year history, it's specifically been white men. And today you look at the splits, it's 78% is made up of men. No matter if you're Republican or Democrat, the actual burden of like where we are today as a country falls at the feet of men. Men have often, at times passed different pieces of legislation that helps benefit people, but they've also passed a ton of legislation that has overwhelmingly harmed people while never specifically passing legislation that harms them. So the premise that I have is that if we take a look at removing men from leadership for at least the next 4 presidents, if each president gets 8 years, so 32 years, then it would be good for us and we'll be able to actually move forward as a country because women would be better as leaders.
So we're saying remove men from like the Oval Office. We're saying remove men from Congress,
Oval
like
Office,
all of
Congress, all
the
of
Supreme Court,
Yep.
all of it.
Yep.
And then we just put women, we just replace with like, we just put women on ballots and vote for women.
Yep.
I see.
Let them cook.
I say best man or woman for the job. I think there's a lot of qualities that women bring to the table, and I think there's a lot of qualities that men bring to the table. I think both can do an ample job in leadership roles, but I just say by saying like, take one sex out of the equation just because.
It's not just because. Do you want to know what my because is?
I mean, you kind of just gave it to me.
I did.
I don't. Oh, well, I mean, 250 years of white men kind of creating policy and making decisions.
That's just talking about like what's the happy haps, right? That's just the happy haps. But do you know how long on average does a nation last?
That's a great question. I don't have the statistical answers behind that.
A nation normally lasts about 250 years. And I kind of just spilled the beans, but our country is currently at 250 years. Did you know that the United States of America is on course doing the exact same thing as the last 5 superpowers in the world prior to them collapsing? Like bar for bar, word for word, the exact same shit that the last 5 superpowers that their currency was the centralized currency for the entire world. We're doing the exact same shit that they did that caused them to collapse. So the point that I'm getting across is that understanding how long nations normally last, and you combine that with the fact that our country is taking the exact same course, the only premise that we can engage in that would stop us from going off this existential cliff is to do something we've never done before, something completely dramatic. Because we've had a time where only white men that own land had power, then only white men had power, then only men had power. And then we kind of rolled into whatever this is right now where everybody kind of has shared power. But none of this has worked and it's got us to where we are right now. And if we don't make some type of dramatic change, our country is going to be gone.
I see the point. I'd have to wrestle with that one in my head for a real long time before I could answer intelligently.
Can you tell me, like, I hear you, like merit, you know, whoever's the best, like, let them rock. Can you tell me anything that, any category of leadership that would deem men to be better than women?
In a leadership position,
Mm-hmm.
If we take merit out of the equation, no. I mean, I think it's best person for the job, man or woman, woman or man. I'm not pointing at one gender and saying like you got to 86 this gender.
You mean sex? Because like
sex, correct? Yeah.
So no. Did you know that men are so emotional? Like I've coined a couple of terms, whether it's them being emotional or talking about the fifis in their tum tum. Men are so emotional. And so since men are so emotional and they have lower EQs than women, they tend to engage in things like, you know, harmful use of substance, violence. Men lead all categories of violent crime, and that's towards women, children, and men. And men think that they have a monopoly on violence, and that's the only reason they've been able to control or maintain control over power. So, like, even if you talk about like the way that men have led, it's been through force and fear versus trying to actually take care of people. And women have the emotional intelligence to think about other people and take care of people. So, like, that would be a win for us.
My counterpoint to that would be: do you have faith that the human race across the entire globe is intelligent, or do you think we're stupid?
Oh, we're all stupid, but I'm not talking about the entire globe. I'm only talking about the U.S.
Okay.
Can't control what they do in China.
Or any other country for that matter. But why hasn't that? So what's your point behind that theory that you have of just taking men out of positions of all power for, let's say, 20, 30 years and putting women in place? Why hasn't that been experimented with or worked anywhere else in the world? What's your theory behind that?
There are successful women leaders currently in the world. And then even if you take a look,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like complete, like take a country or take an area where you can point to me where all men have been taken out of leadership positions and it's all women. Well, I'm only asking that. I'm not trying to say that you're wrong. I just haven't seen that anywhere. Have you?
Good. Well, there hasn't been a country that's tried to take those steps. Also, there's never been another me. You know, I've never
somebody just put in the chat Mexico. Don't even start with Mexico, man. The cartels run Mexico. Wait.
Lock in for me, Dave. Lock in for me. The point being is the reason why I say this is not because, you know, it's cute and it's like something that everyone should be ascribing to, but it's because of the existential threat that we face as a country. If it weren't for those combined factors that I've mentioned, I don't think I would be saying that necessarily. I would say that, you know, yeah, women leaders are great and we need more women. But when I look at the grand scheme of everything, this is what makes me pull this point. So it would have to be an understanding as far as like what other country throughout the history of the world has been forced into this situation, or, you know, men as a whole, right? We got the patriarchy, right? Men aren't just going to willingly give up power. So like, that's the issue.
And I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that 100%.
But
that's why men have run the world.
You know how we make this happen?
How we make what happen?
How we put women in power?
You tell me, boss.
Me and you. Me and you, men have to be the ones standing up and saying like, hey, we need to let this shit go. The only way that people who benefit from the system, men, the only way we're going to be able to make a change to the system, men, we have to stand up and say we demand a change to the system, and specifically white men, right? Because when you talk about the patriarchy, white men sit at the top of the patriarchy, and so white men have to be willing to give up their privilege in order for us to make that change.
I can't disagree with that.
Anyway, Dave, I appreciate you coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and swap you out. Thank you so much.
I appreciate your time.
All right, have a good one.
All right, man. You too.
Yep. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. If you like to support the live, or if you like to support the DC Fund, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Hello.
Hola.
Can you hear me?
Está? Yes.
I know it's not related, but CNN News is live right now, and Pam Bundy got subpoenaed, and she is getting her ass fried.
That could have been an email, friend. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Guys, please respect the boundaries of the live. We are looking for some debates. I have a busy next couple of days coming up, and I don't know how much I'm going to be live, and I really want to get some debates. Please, really want to get some debates. Please. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Okay.
I don't think they meant to come up. I don't think this person's coming up either. Oh, damn it. Debbie's in the chat. Let me catch up on these real quick. Debbie's in the chat for the lady who sent a $2 super chat to say Santana for the new Constitution creator and president. I don't know about that one. Listen, you let me make the new Constitution? Free Bugattis for everybody. Debbie's in the chat for Linnell, who sent a $5 super chat to say, caller, you want money out of politics? Elon bought his way into an advisory position by spending hella money to promote Trump. Exactly. Debbie's in the chat. Debbie's in the chat for Soap Kick, I think it's pronounced, for the $5 super chat to say W mods, W Santana, absolutely W mods. Debbie's in chat for the lady for the $2 super chat to say we missed 3 minutes of the conversation. You guys did. Debbie's in chat for Phoenix Eye for the $5 super chat to say last caller felt like a breath of fresh air. Sometimes it's good to have that. Debbie's in chat for Carla for the $1 donation saying, hey, please look at the guests. Please let the guests know that Massey took $1 million from one donor, Jeff. Yes, who's the key donor to the PACs? The super. Oh, that's a good call out. Debbie's in chat for you. Debbie's in chat for Madison for the $10 donation. Saying, hey, Santana, I've been watching for a while and this is my first donation. Hey, Debbie's in chat for Madison. I discovered you from Dina Parker. Love how you conduct your debates. Can't wait to see what's in store in DC. Thanks for keeping us informed and keep doing what you're doing. Love you. I love you way much more. Thank you so much. And Debbie's in chat for Sophie for the $2 super donation. Says, Sophia, you never have to say sorry. Thank you for the $2. You're absolutely amazing. I talked to Parker a bit, and I can't write much in the chat thing because the words cut off. I'm gonna text him and hopefully explain. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, send that over. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation. And regardless of what's going on in DC, I want you to know how damn proud I am of you. Keep it up. Absolutely, Jared. We got some dope shit that's getting ready to happen. I'm actually, Chad, if I'm not gonna hold you, I'm actually nervous. Oh, that person didn't connect. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. If you're over on YouTube, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and you like to debate, all you gotta do is click that link. You don't even have to leave where you are. Just click the link. Hi, Katie. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Katie, you're out of the app. You have to actually come back into the app. Katie. All right. Katie, I'm gonna drop you. Katie came back up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Debbie's in the chat for Lake. Lake's in a $25 donation saying, watch you on YouTube, and I think you're lagging. But after the genocide in Rwanda, women took control of their government. It would be a great case study. And you know what? I thought about that afterwards. Like, I really thought about that afterwards. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Debbie's in the chat for Lake. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Yeah, guys, TikTok Studio went kind of like bonkers. And so, yeah. Anyway, guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. that person did not load. Let me drop this in the YouTube chat as well. YouTube, get up here. Somebody come catch a fade. Somebody come catch a fade. Guys, let me tell you, this is how thin the debates have been lately. I unintentionally went MAGA hunting last night. I wasn't trying to go MAGA hunting. And if you missed it, then you miss a hell of a moment, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling through TikTok, right? And there's this older black guy on TikTok and he has a background, and on his background, it has the vote for the Save America Act, right? See if this person's going to load. I don't think this person's going to load. Anyway, he had a background for the Save America Act, right? And so I wasn't trying to debate, but he was sitting there. He's like, can someone explain to me why the Democrats voted against this? I just need to know why would they vote against this? We need to be able to have voter ID. Voter ID is good. It's really good. You got to have it. Don't make no sense. Make no sense at all. And I'm sitting here in my chair and I'm like, I had my feet up and everything. And I was like, you know what? I got you. I'll tell you about it. So I request up. And again, the entire time I'm sitting there, I got my feet kicked up. This is how you know, like I wasn't even trying to catch a fade. I saw somebody who needed help and I was like, I got you. Right. And so I go up and I'm like, yeah, the reason why they actually voted against it is because it's going to disenfranchise millions of Americans. Women is going to make it so certain women can't vote. It's, it's akin to a poll tax. There's a lot wrong with it. And he was like, oh, no, it ain't. You making that up. Hey, there ain't nothing in there about no women can't vote. Women can vote. Women can vote right now. I was like, no, they can vote right now because it hasn't passed. Yeah, you just made that up. That ain't in there. You wrong. And I was like, well, no. I'm telling you, it's actually in the bill. He said, there ain't no way they put that in the bill. Why would they make women not be able to vote? Women got to be able to vote. That don't make no sense. Women gonna vote. There ain't no way women not gonna vote. And I said, but it's in the bill. Did you read the bill? Yeah, I read it. I read it all. I read the whole thing. I read part of it. I read the whole part of the whole thing. I read part of the whole thing. I was like, but it doesn't seem like you read it then, because it's literally in the bill. He said, ain't no way it's in that bill. Ain't no way they put nothing like that in that bill. Ain't no way they put nothing like that in that bill. I said, yeah, it's literally, hey, look, you know what? Do you have the bill in front of you? Yeah, I got it right here. Right here in front of me. I said, okay, then are you looking at it? He said, yeah, it's right here. I said, okay. I said, have you read it? He said, yeah, I don't see nothing about it right now. Nothing. I said, okay. So this is when things got serious. This is when I locked in. Chat, this is when I locked the fuck in, because I was sitting there with my feet up on my desk. I took my feet down and turned on my computer. And if anybody know, that's like Lil Wayne when he was on his mixtape run and you hear that lighter flick. That's what it was. I said, all right, I got the bill in front of me right now. It's right here. I need you to go to section 2, part B, section 5, part A, number 3. He said, you go to 2B. Ain't nothing in 2B. I said, no. It's not 2B. You have to go to section 2, part B, section A, part 5, number 3. He's like, oh no, I don't see nothing right here with no 2B. You don't say nothing about that in 2B. I said, you're not looking at the right spot. He said, no, you're just making that up. Lisa, does it say that in the bill, or did you just make that up? You making that up. Ain't no way it say that in the bill. I said, it's literally right here. I said, are you looking at it? Yeah, I'm looking at it right. I said, how are you looking? I'm looking on my phone. I don't see it. I said, read to me what you see. And so he starts reading, and he reads a summary. And I said, are you reading the AI overview? He said, well, no, I'm reading the bill. I got the bill right here. I said, there's no way you're reading the bill because it's a summarization of it. He said, but yeah, you told me to look it up, and I looked it up. I typed it in right here. I said, look, what does it say in 2B of the bill? And this is what it say right here. Say it on my phone. I said, but you're not looking at the actual bill. You're looking at the summary. No. You told me to look at 2B. I said, I didn't even tell you to look at 2B because that's not even the right section. He's like, no, but you told me that it was the right section. So then I go to the actual bill. At this point, I'm like Thanos, right? Fine, I'll do it myself. So I go to the bill and I pull up the bill. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this on the screen real quick because I want you guys to see what the fuck I was looking at. You guys have to see what I was actually looking at. All right. So I was like, are you on this? And he's like, no, it don't look like that. I said, so you're not actually on the bill. I said, go down. I said, when you're in the bill, it's broken into multiple sections. Section 1, section 2. And then once you're in section 2, go down to the part B of section 2. Keep going down. I wanted him to get here. And so I put this on the screen, right? This one right here. I said, can you read this part for me? He said, oh, I can't read that. I said, oh, shit. He said, hold on, hold it still. He said, includes the full name, date of birth, and place of birth of applicant. I said, okay, it's right there. It says, I said, you understand that they have to have their name on the birth certificate. He said, well, of course they got to have where they were born. They got to have where they were born. If they don't have where they were born, then you can't do it. I said, no. I said, why are you only looking at this last part? Why aren't you looking at this part, the part that says name, full name? He was like, no, but you got to have the place of birth. But listen, my wife, her last name is my last name, and my last name ain't on her birth certificate, and she can vote. I said, I understand that your wife's last name is not on her birth certificate, and that's why she can vote. He said, but that don't make no sense. Why would they make it so women can't vote? That don't make no sense because, like, my wife, she got the same last name as me. I said, you're looking at the SAVE Act. I said, okay. I said, right now. He said, and none of that don't matter because you know why? She got a marriage license. I said, okay, yes, she has a marriage license. But if her last name, I said, look at the documentation. Does the documentation say anything about accepting the marriage license? Does the bill? I said I read off the ones that the actual things that you can use. And the marriage license, I went down the list. I said, stop me when you hear me say marriage license, right? Because he was locked in on the marriage license. So I told him, I said, stop me when you hear me say marriage license. Get back here. Sorry. Let me get this open. Where's my notes? Oh, God damn it. Hold on. Here it is. Here it is. So I went, here's the list. These are the actual pieces of like the actual documents that are accepted under the SAVE Act. The real ID, valid U.S. passport, U.S. military card, government issued ID, certificate of birth, a naturalization certificate, actual consular report of birth abroad, or an American Indian card, KIC, it's called. That's the only thing that are accepted when it comes to renewing and registering for the SAVE Act. And he said, well, listen, see, this is what you got. This is the problem. All those things that you named You got to have a marriage license to get them. You got to have a marriage license to get off. See, the marriage license is the thing to take care of all that. So if you got the marriage license, you ain't got to worry about none of that. I said, wait. Okay, but tell me where in the bill it says that you can use a marriage license. Yeah, but you got to have the marriage license to get any of that. So none of that don't matter. I said, so are you telling me that the bill, even though the bill directly tells you what documents are needed, are you telling me that you can use your marriage license to get it? He said, no. He said, because you can do it right now. I said, wait. I said, as of right now, I said, what do you have on your background? Remember, he had on his background the vote for the SAVE Act. His prompt was, tell me why the Democrats are not voting for the SAVE Act. That was the prompt. I said, tell me what you got. What do you have in your background? He said, none of your business. What the fuck are you talking about? I can see it. I literally can see it. I just want to know if you know. Motherfucker said, none of your business. I said, what is on your background, your green screen? What do you have behind you? He said, oh, that's the vote for the Save America Act. I said, okay, cool. I said, has that bill been passed yet? He said, no, it ain't passed because the Democrats. I said, oh, yep, cool. I said, so right now, you can use the marriage license because the bill isn't passed, right? He said, yep. I said, okay. I said, so if the bill is passed and we just covered the documents that you can use that's in the SAVE Act, will you be able to use the marriage license if the marriage license is not listed in the SAVE Act? He was like, no. I said, okay, cool. So if the bill is passed and you can't use your marriage license, and that means you won't be able to register to vote, and that's how they're disenfranchising women. He's like, oh, that don't make no sense because women can vote because they can just use their marriage license because that's the thing you got. So at this point, I said, okay, hold on. I told him, just give me a second. I said, okay, let me try one more thing. Let me try one more thing. I said, okay, let's say you go to a store, right? I said, and you have checks. I said, you've used checks before, right? He said, yeah, I use checks. Yeah. I said, what backs checks? He said, I don't know what you want me to say. A bank? What the bank's the back the check? I said, cash. Don't worry about it. Cash, money. You have to have money in order to back the check, right? He said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. I said, if you go into a store and you got your checkbook. No, I'm sorry. I said, you go into the store and you got cash on you, but the store only takes checks, and you tell them, hey, I got cash. Do you think that the store is going to take your cash even though they say they only take checks? He said, yeah, they're going to take the cash. I said, you're a fucking idiot. I said, you're a fucking idiot. And then I just left. I said, you're a fucking idiot. And I just left. But then this is what he said after I left. I shit you not. Are you listening? Is everyone locked in right now? Is everyone locked in right now? I shit you not. After I spent 30 minutes showing him the bill, explaining the bill to him, proving why his logic was wrong, I finally gave up. And I left, and I shit you not. He said, You know what the problem is with you? The problem is you read too much. That's why you stupid. You read so much that it made you stupid. This motherfucker told me that the reason why I'm stupid is because I read too much. He said that I have read so much that it made me stupid. I have never in my life crashed out that hard. I was punching the air and everything. I have never in my life crashed out like that. I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off. And mind you, wasn't trying to debate. I wasn't even trying. I was just scrolling through TikTok, and it seemed like there was someone who had a question, and I was just trying to answer the question. Hi, Katie. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Hey, me and my girl are laughing at y'all.
That's what's up. Are you a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background?
Nah, y'all, we love Trump. We love America. We love Trump. We love this nation. Mm-hmm. And we think the war that's going on is good.
Oh, okay. What state do you live in? Don't tell me your city, but like what state do you live in? Oh, why'd you run? Come back up here. We got to talk about it. W's in the chat for Lamar for the $15 donation. What would be up to? Would I be up to making an example of the Constitution? I don't know if I would be up for writing out a whole new Constitution. Maybe. W's in the chat for Lamar. Thank you for the 15. W's in the chat for hi. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
You read too much.
And you're not funny. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap screen, share the live. Send your daily heart me. Hi. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Hey, Santana. Just a quick question. Is Kay still your communications platform person?
Yes, but are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No, that was all I had.
Okay. Guys, please, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. I don't know if this person's going to load. Debbie's in chat for Christine for the $1 donation. Santana, the establishment only takes cash, but I have checks. I can still pay with the check. It made my fucking head hurt. Like literally, I'm not gonna lie, guys. My head is actually hurting right now. I swear, right hand to Jeebus. My head is fucking pounding now. Hi, Max. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Max, are you a Trump supporter or disagree? Okay. I literally my head actually hurts right now. What the fuck? Why are you back in the request? Why are you back in the request?
Oh, why'd you kick me?
Do you disagree with something on the background?
Why'd you kick me, bro?
Don't even worry about it. I'm not going to kick you again. But I will block you. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation. Said, don't be nervous. You're going to rock bottom the hell out of everything. I'm going to try. W's in the chat for holy fuck, Irene. Guys, fucking massive W's in the chat for Irene. Irene sent a $50 donation, said DC fun. Can't wait to hear about what you're doing down there. Don't be nervous. I bet people you're talking to don't even have a theme song. I'm positive no one else will have a theme song. Deb's in chat for Irene. Deb's in chat for Irene. Thank you so much for that $50 donation. I appreciate the hell out of you. I do. Deb's in chat as well for Drew. And Drew sent a $4.99 super chat to say, you work out so much, that's why you're weak. You work out so much, that's why yes, that was the fucking logic that he used, Drew. That was his logic. Debbie's in the chat for Deb for the $4.99 super chat to say, I think it's a plot. The maggots turned the stupid up to 99. And the infrastructure turned that up to 99. They did. Oh, they got that shit turned all the way up. Oh, they got it turned all the way up. Holy fuck. W's in the chat for Soapkeep, who said a $5 super chat. Say people forget the variety. The variety is the spice of life. Variety is the spice of life. W's in the chat for Matt Scramble for the $15 donation. I'm a first gen grad student. I'm a first gen college grad, and many of my family members felt threatened by my education. My uncle even told me that I should get my nose out the book and watch. Really, holy shit! I'm sorry to hear that, Matt Scramble. Like, you know what we have to do though? Like, seriously. The one thing that we have to do, because we live in an age of anti-intellectualism, right? Where people think that it's like cool and fun to like be stupid, and people shame like education. We got to make being educated smart again. Not being smart, being cool. Holy shit! I really have a headache now, and I think it's because I hit my head too hard. I think that's what it was. I hope I'm not concussed. I might have a concussion. I think I might have concussed myself. Anyway, we got to make being smart cool. We got to make being smart cool. W's in chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. If you're over on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and you want to debate, click that link. The link will literally bring you up here. Come catch a fade. Come on. Come get the smoke. W's in the chat. Hold on. W's in the chat for, oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I think it's pronounced Sheena. Sheena, thank you so much for the $30 donation. It said, keep reading, keep sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so fucking much. I really, really mean that. W's in the chat for Sheena, guys. W's in the chat for Sheena for that $30 donation. Oh, you said you had something else?
Santana. Yeah, super quick. I forgot to ask you on my end point, if we were to get rid of all major corporations or big corporate donors and issue term limits into Congress and other positions of office in the federal government, do you think that's a path to fix our problem or no?
Say it one more time. Run through the things again.
Okay, so we talked about, I can't even remember the name of the big organization that you were talking about.
No.
There's
Just,
so many.
Just say what you just said again. I want to make sure I hear all of them.
Okay, term limits, which we don't have. We have career politicians, and then big money in politics. So the people that give money to politicians get what they want. If we got rid of if we change those two items, do you think we'd get on a path to the direction that you want to go?
No.
Okay.
No, just because it's not dramatic enough, but and it still aligns with like, because while we've never seen term limits, we have seen de facto term limits through different things throughout the history in our country, and then also like the explosion of money in politics didn't really occur until Citizens United. So like we've seen that as well.
I mean, as long as I've been alive, I can name politicians that are still in politics since I was a kid. McConnell, Pelosi. I mean, go down the list. Lindsey Graham. They're all career people. Our founders did not intend for people to serve in politics for their life.
Our founders didn't intend for politicians to be a field where you make millions or, you know, become ultra wealthy.
Amen. Agreed. 100%. Now, one last piece. You talked about getting rid of all men in leadership roles. Do me a favor when you have some time, because I agree with you. Reading is the most valuable tool that any of us have.
Apparently, it makes you stupid.
I don't agree with that, but some other idiot does. Go do me a favor and go back and look in history and see how many times queens ruled society, and look what happened to those societies.
Yeah, I've heard people try to make that that equivocation and like how some of the most ruthless leaders have been queens.
And I want to make the point that I'm not dogging women here. I'm just saying that I think merit is what counts, not sex.
So you agree with DEIA?
Say that one more time.
You agree with DEIA?
Diversity, equity, inclusion. Give me the last A.
Accessibility.
Do I agree with it?
What do you think DEI is?
What's that?
I was just showing. I like to show my chat my snacks. We eat snacks together, so I like to share my snacks with my chat so they know what we're eating. Anyway, what do you think DEI is?
My personal opinion is something that has been introduced to get us to just argue and fight with each other even more. Like I said, I just go back to my basic, whatever role or job that you're looking to fulfill, I think merit should be the #1 driving force. Not race, not sex, not anything else.
So again, what do you think DEI is?
I just told you my opinion.
What
I think it's a philosophy that's been introduced to make us get to further divide versus coming closer together.
What if I told you you're right? Would you be shocked if I said you're right?
No.
You wouldn't be surprised if I told you you're right. Not that you think you're right, but I'm telling you what you said. DEI is exactly that.
Yeah.
That's not DEIA though. So
tell me the difference.
Gotcha.
Educate me.
So DEIA is at the core, like the actual foundation of what DEIA is. It's exactly what you're saying. It's merit, right? It's removing those biases that cause people to disenfranchise other people, whether it's based off of their sex, their race, whether it's based off of their gender ideology, their religion, things like that. And so people have biases, and it teaches people to get away from those biases, right? But when you talk about like what's something that would be a practical application of DEIA, have you ever heard of blind resumes?
Yes.
Blind resumes are DEIA because it removes all of those other indicators that would have people lean into any biases and allow them to only pick the best applicant.
Fully support.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
DEIA.
fully supportive of that.
Now, let's talk about DEI. Have you ever like did you wonder why you didn't know what that A was? And I'm pretty sure you probably never heard the term DEIA, right? You've only heard DEI.
Correct.
You want to know why?
I think I know why.
Why?
Because the proponents that have introduced DEI want us fighting with each other. They don't want us to come together. So that's why you suppress DEIA That's why you suppress DEIA and you don't tell people what it means. And that's why you promote DEI.
Listen.
Get people to split apart. Don't get them to come together, right?
Listen. Before Charlie Kirk was blowing out their third hole, he was actually pushing DEI and saying that it was like black people getting stuff that they didn't deserve. He actually lied and said that black people were becoming, they were making black people pilots and they weren't qualified, even though there's FAA regulations and flight hours and all these other strict standards that cannot be subverted. And so, but, you know, Charlie Kirk perpetuated those type of harmful things, and people use DEI as a racist dog whistle. It was literally, it has an etymology. Before they said DEI, they called it critical race theory, CRT. And before CRT, they called it BLM, Black Lives Matter. And before Black Lives Matter, they called it thug. And before they called it thug, they called it boy. And before they called it boy, it was the N-word. The DEI is just a way of racist people using racist dog whistles to point out black people. And that's why they say, oh,
the layering it up.
Yeah.
Layering it up is basic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like Kamala Harris was a DEI candidate. Well, oh, you mean black? Oh, those DEI pilots. They only say that towards black people. And so they try to weaponize that to insinuate that it's only something that benefit black people and it's only based off of race, when DEIA is something that's overwhelmingly beneficial to women, people with disabilities, vets. People don't have a full understanding, but they think that it means that black people are getting something that they don't deserve. Didn't earn it, right? Like, it's a whole thing.
I'm right there with you. I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah, so you advocate for DEIA.
I do. Blind everything. As far as like looking at somebody on a piece of paper, taking all the stereotypes out. 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, so I like what you're doing, man.
I appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna drop you down.
Thanks.
W's in the chat for Marie. Marie sent a $1 donation saying, nah. W's in the chat for Marie. Marie said, maybe Rain will learn what his parents did after you ground me, take away the car. I don't know who Rain who? I don't know who that is. Aim, Nokia brick, door to my back, which left literally nothing left to lose. Without leverage, got the bell. I have no idea what you're talking about, Marie. I'm sure this is, you know what? I'm gonna look this up. I'm sure this is like from some type of song, but I don't know the song. I don't know the song. Not gonna hold you. I don't know the song, and I find myself to be pretty eclectic. Oh, nothing left to lose. Nothing left to lose. Loss of leverage. What is this? This is interesting. W's in chat for Marie. W's in chat for Marie. No, thank you, Kobe. Not tonight. I can't do it, Kobe. I'm not gonna hold you. I can't do it tonight, Kobe. I not gonna hold you. Can't do it tonight, Kobe. Can't do it tonight. I think I concussed myself. I think I'm currently concussed. So can't do it. It is Steve Austin Day. Oh, guys, did you guys watch my video? How many of you guys watched my video? I know you guys didn't watch a video I made. I worked hard on that video too. You sucked if you guys didn't watch it. I'm gonna play it anyway. You guys gonna watch that video, whether you like it or not. Give me a second. My wife like, look what my husband made, and y'all better like it. There it is. Living in Washington. Hold on. I spent a lot of time on this video, guys. And if you don't like it, just act like you like it. Just like a little bit, okay? Deal? Like, just pretend that you like it a little bit. Okay. You guys ready? Is everybody ready? Okay. Damn it. It's down here. Move this. Living in Washington State has given me access to so many wonderful things. I attended a town hall hosted by Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal. She believes in hearing from her constituents and the people that she actually represents. I got an opportunity to actually listen to her talk about multiple things, including what's happening currently with this war in Iran.
I've been in classified briefings, but I can promise you that there's nothing that I have heard that is different from what you're hearing. It is absolutely an illegal, unconstitutional war.
She talked about the things that actually affect everyday Americans, like the cost of things.
His team keeps telling him, you got to talk about how working people are actually going to make it here. He can't talk about that because he said he was going to reduce costs on day one.
And she also took time to talk about something that not enough people are talking about anymore, which are the Epstein files.
Go to war on Iran, that takes over the front page, and you forget about the incredible horror of the Epstein files, which was on the front page of the newspapers every single day, including that there were files that were covered up and held back about Trump himself. Credible allegations of abuse by him against minors.
I had to take an opportunity to actually get my question in. We all know that the Democratic Party, they're not necessarily the best when it comes to getting their message out. I needed answers about what they're doing. My name is Santana Jones. I'm a political influencer, streamer. I stream daily in front of thousands of people. I debate MAGA. Talk about you guys. People who care about democracy. I'm talking about y'all. That we've noticed is I told her about y'all. The Democratic Party as a whole has an issue with messaging. One thing that isn't happening to the highest level is being able to impact the social media sphere. The right has kind of a monopoly on podcasts and the different people that actually get messaging out. Myself and other influencers have tried to make sure that we're combating it. What are you and the Democratic Party willing to do to help combat that? Are you guys looking to align with the influencers that are out here doing the work every day as well? And of course, she came back with a banger of an answer.
Have a whole program around influencers. We've been doing a lot of collabs. We've been reaching out. We've been trying to get you content because we know that that's important. Now it's sad, you know, this is new for a lot of people in the Democratic Party. I shouldn't be one of the people with a high following, but I am. And that's because there's too many other people not doing what they should be doing. So we do have to find a different way to communicate, and we do have to talk to people that are not our regular folks. So we're really interested to hear whatever you have to say. In a lot of our recent things, we've had influencers come to DC and there's an influencer tent, and, you know, but not everybody is comfortable doing that kind of communication, but we can work with people like you, like others, to really make sure we're getting that content for the galaxy. Out there. So I think of you all as being a very important part of our ecosystem, and thank you for doing that work. Really.
That's something that I wanted to hear from not only her, but I need to hear more from the Democratic Party if we want to be able to use our voices collectively to affect the 2026 midterms and the 2028 presidential election. Congresswoman Jayapal is absolutely amazing. I'm so excited that I got an opportunity to hear her in person, and it has inspired me to make sure that I am getting out about meeting with different members of Congress. I'm encouraging you to do the same. Okay. What'd you guys think? I mentioned you. I made sure to bring her. I made sure to bring you guys up to her because you guys are awesome. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I like making videos. I do. It takes a lot of time. There's this one video that I'm putting out in the morning, and I've been working on it for like hours. Yes, I did tell her about you guys. I didn't tell her how mean you guys are to me most of the time, though. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No, this was a complete mistake. I was trying to tap. Sorry.
Oh, now you got to stay up here with me. You got to debate me now.
I do. to thank you for how wonderfully you represented us.
No. We don't
Not
do
a
that.
good debater.
No. We don't do that.
This was a mistake.
Is a sandwich a hot dog? I'm sorry, is a hot dog a sandwich?
I don't believe it is, but I'm not a Trump supporter. I
No, you got to
requested up by
debate me on
mistake.
that then. No. Why do you say a hot dog isn't a sandwich? Okay, well, wait, I'll give you a second chance.
Of the meat.
I'll give you a second chance. Is cereal a soup?
Absolutely, categorically no.
See? All right, now you got to catch this fade. Come on. No, I'm just messing with you. I'll drop you down. I appreciate you.
You're wonderful.
You are too. Everybody knows that hot dogs are sandwiches and cereal is soup. What are we talking about, guys? Like, no, come on now. Come on now. We all know these things.
Okay, first of all, Santana, you're sick. Cereal is not soup.
Cereal is absolutely soup.
No, I just wanted to come up real quick, man. And secrets, by the way.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Yo,
why'd you change your profile? Oh, I
just changed the name because I'm tired of being called secrets. I'll make it super quick. I just wanted to give you your flowers, man.
Please don't.
I think no, you're getting your flowers. Everyone in the comments give Santana his flowers.
I'm literally gonna drop you.
Okay, I'll chill. I do want to say this though, like truly. I was talking with someone about this the other day, and you are one of the very few Black creators within the community that has actually gotten out there and done the work and been recognized for it to the extent that you have. And I think that is something worth noting. I know look, we have to acknowledge the privilege that the white creators have here.
I'll say this. I think that I have been very fortunate, very blessed to interact with a lot of really good people, and not just like the creators, but the people that I share space with, like the community, like the people that are watching here right now. I say this all the time. There's no way that I could do any of these things that I do without the people around me. And the people around me are not only, like I said, the creators and the community, but the other people that I lean on, right? And like I love Athena to the moon and back. I talk to her every day. I love, Hector. I love Zeus. Like there's a ton of Black creators. And I think that everyone's looking for something and everyone's looking to push and do something and do more. And so I just think that like making sure that whatever way that anybody can do something positive is the big thing. And, I just try to be, a good steward of whatever my community allows me to do. Like that's
absolutely. And I love Athena and I love Hector. You already know that,
yes.
But I think that, you've made it and you are one of the best voices for our community that I have ever heard and that I've had the privilege of meeting and taking the time to speak with. And I just know that we all appreciate you more than you know, dude.
Yeah,
I know it. Look, be cocky, man. Come on, take it in. We adore you. We absolutely adore you.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna drop you down, okay?
Of course. All right. Bye, Santana.
I think there's so many other amazing people doing so many great things. And I just wish that some of the other people that I adore, I wish they had the ability to have their voices heard all the time. That's why I love it. I love when like Swan comes up on the panel and hangs out with me because like her voice needs to be amplified. Is Ari here right now? Ari has been coming and hanging out with me a lot lately too. Ari is dope. Ari's super dope. I really, I see Jess is here. Jess is dope. There's so many different people who I feel like their voices need to be amplified way more than mine. And I'm sincerely lucky and overwhelmed that anyone is willing to listen to me. And like, there's no way that I could do any of this without you. I mean that. The only reason that I'm extremely blessed to be able to turn on a camera and a light and sit and talk in front of people and have my voice heard, and then to get an opportunity to meet some great people and do some exciting things. Yeah. I appreciate you guys, and I couldn't do it without you. Could not do it without you. Couple quick W's. W's in the chat for Rust Belt. Wait, hold on. Got to go back up. Oh, yeah. W's in the chat for Rust Belt for the $2 super chat to say, here, buy some dollar store aspirin. I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to do it. W's in the chat for How to Live with a Smile, who sent a membership over on YouTube. W's in the chat for Zaggy for the $10 dono. Said, have you seen the news about ICE moving a detained pregnant girl/teen to Texas to avoid providing abortion? The more I learn about this administration, the angrier I get. I have not seen that, but holy fuck, if that's true, that's crazy. Holy fuck. W's in the chat for Paige for the $5 donation. Said, first time donating, you deserve way more recognition. Thank you for spreading knowledge. Paige, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I really do. W's in chat for Elizabeth for the $2 donation. Elizabeth said, mushroom coffee. What's mushroom coffee? Not really coffee, but it's like better. I've never heard of mushroom coffee. You can confirm what, Kristen? I have no idea what mushroom coffee is. That doesn't sound good. Mushroom coffee? Nah, fuck that. I don't believe y'all. Y'all trying to set me up. No. I don't believe you. Because you listen, the one thing that I do know about you guys, it's yummy and healthy, but good. Earthy. So it tastes like dirt. That's what you said. You said it's earthy. So it tastes like dirt. I feel like you guys are trying to set me up. Erica, it's true. They are trying to set me up. Kel Bell, you said you don't like it. Oh, Ricky, don't like it? No, it's more than that. I don't believe it. W's in the chat for Tess for the $30 donation for the Hotspot in DC fund. Love you and the whole community and the work that's being done. Can't wait to hear about the super secret DC mission in honor of Steve Austin. Open up a can. I will. Management's told me to stop talking about DC, but I'm going to just say I can't wait until I can actually tell you guys what the fuck I'm doing, because it's going to be so fucking crazy. Okay, I'm not going to talk. I stopped. Not going to talk about it anymore. I stopped. It's going to be so fucking crazy. Debbie's in the chat for holy shit. Trella. I think it's pronounced Trella. Like trailer. Holy shit. W's in the chat for the $100 donation. Holy fuck. I've been missing, but I'm back. You are absolutely back. I've actually talked my dad, a heavy politician, about you. He listens now. Holy shit. Tell your pops I said, what up? Tell him I said hi. Holy shit. Thank you so much for the $100 donation. That is crazy. Thank you. Holy fuck. That is crazy. W's in the chat. Thank you. Thank you to all the donos, guys. I seriously mean this. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
So yeah, what's up with your prompt saying end white privilege? Like, what do you mean by white privilege?
We want to end it. Down with white privilege.
Yeah, what privilege? We got rid of that and we got rid of slavery. What are you talking about?
White privilege has nothing to do with slavery.
So what privilege do I have that you don't?
I don't know. Are you white?
Yeah.
Then you got white privilege and I don't. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. Keep tapping the screen, guys. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 300,000 likes. Also, make sure that you're hitting that follow button. We're on our way to 100,000 followers. We got 75 new followers on the stream. So please look up at the top. If you see the word follow, you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. We are on our way to 100,000 followers. If you're over on YouTube, make sure you give the VOD a thumbs up, but make sure you hit that follow because we're on our way to 20,000 followers. If you're over on Twitch, what up, Twitch? W's in the chat for one mighty pin that actually extended their Steam streak. And oh, holy smokes. Forcible Fridge became a sub over on Twitch. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. We're trying to make it 2,000 on Twitch. Anyway, you were telling me all about your white privilege.
So meanwhile, did you come up with an example or?
Example of what?
Of something I can do that you can't.
I don't know you personally. What can you do? Can you lick your elbow?
Don't be funny. Like, can answer the question.
Can you lick your elbow?
What can I do that you cannot do?
Can you lick your elbow?
Bro.
No. I'm sorry. That's just such a lazy question. That's the only reason I'm not answering. It's
your prompt just is silly. The four of them you could have a discussion. I get that, but the bottom one's just stupid.
Okay, so if I demolish you, are you gonna run? Because you know what I've learned, and I'm not gonna hold you. Like when people come up and they like really push back hard on the point they don't really know shit about shit, and then like I start to like really explain it, and then they either fold like a cheap paper plate or crash out and run. And I'm just not interested in either one of those right now. So don't fold and don't run.
Yep.
All right. You ready?
What can I do that you can't?
That's such a lazy ass question. Stop.
That's
Leave
not
that question.
A lazy ass question.
That's a lazy fucking question. Start here. I'll help you. I will.
Because that would indicate privilege, my friend.
I will hold your fucking hand.
That would indicate privilege.
Lazy. That's so lazy.
There's your that's your excuse.
Listen.
It's lazy.
Start here. Say.
Because that would indicate privilege.
Start here. Say, hey, Santana, what do you mean by white privilege? Can you tell me what you deem to be white privilege?
I already know what you mean by it, white privilege.
Oh, okay. Then tell me what I mean by white privilege.
It's just you being a victim.
That's literally not what I mean.
It's literally just you being a victim.
You literally don't know shit. Like, again, oh my God, this is why I'm not taking you serious, because you're not smart enough to actually
you trying to
have
blame
this conversation.
Individual racism for trying to have some sort of less privilege than someone else.
Who the fuck said anything about individual racism? You're so stupid that you didn't even try to figure out what the prompt means, or even say, hey, can you tell me what you mean by the prompt? You don't know shit. Tell me what it means. And don't be like a smart ass. Hold on. No, serious question.
I literally just did.
Okay, listen. I'm going to mute you. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Tell me exactly what I mean by the prompt without being a smart ass and saying, oh, you're just a victim or whatever. Since you know what it means and you don't need me to explain my premise, that's fine. I'll take it. You explain my premise to me and like actually do it. I'm going to unmute you. I really want to hear you explain my premise.
You believe that you being a different color, that you not being white colored skin means that you don't have a certain privilege that people that are white skinned do, which is just, it's stupid.
It is stupid,
so
because that's not what I mean. No.
Okay, what do you mean then?
And also, like, white skin isn't like, okay, all right, I got you. So white privilege.
It's so stupid to even talk about skin color in 2026, to be honest with you.
You're the one that brought up skin color.
You're the one who put it on your prompt. I'm just making acknowledgement.
Do you think
I think it's fucking stupid? Because we're all melanated colors. Some are lighter, some are darker. In reality,
oh, you're so fucking stupid.
In reality, no one's even black or white. So it's just like it's.
Do you think that race is just skin color?
Essentially, yeah.
No, it's not, you idiot. Race is based off of a phenotypical characteristics, the socially acceptable phenotypical characteristics. It was created for the othering of non-white people to create a free and cheap labor class. It was created by a Portuguese man by the name of Gomez de Zarara. He wanted to actually enslave black people, and he wanted to get the authorization from the Catholic Church. So he went to them and he told them they were animalistic. They were of the lower hemisphere. He got them to write 2 pepper bulls in 1455 and 1457, which okayed chattel slavery. And it's something that still, the effects of it still persist today. There's so much more to it, but like race was literally created by
child slavery goes back further than that, bud.
I said chattel, not chow, you fucking donut.
Oh,
chattel.
Oh, chattel, sorry.
I was having such a good time talking to my friends. Like I was sitting here, me and the chat was just vibing. Like we were on some dope ass vibes. And then
bro, so you gotta get away from this stupid friggin' privilege bullshit.
No,
it's just non-existent in 2026.
You should actually come up here with like some type of fucking understanding of the background.
Well, what does it say? End white privilege, which would mean white privilege, which would mean someone who's white has privilege. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Privilege over who? Privilege over what?
W's in the chat for Darius. Darius, thank you so much for the $2 donation.
And if you're talking about white, then it would have to be then.
And W's in the
comparing
chat
it to someone like say black
W's
or
in the
brown,
chat for W's in the chat for Darius,
which is completely incorrect.
W's in the chat for Darius.
White people don't have privilege over anybody.
W's in the chat for Darius for the $2 donation, saying yes. ICE has been moving pregnant minors across the state lines into Texas.
White people are the minority of the planet, right? You know, they make a 3.5.
Yes, I know more than you about this. Yes, I do. Let me thank the donors. I promise you, I'm gonna let
stop picking on the fucking minority and saying they're
yes. I'm gonna let the stupid shit fall out of your mouth in just a few minutes. But let me just finish thanking the people first, okay? I promise you, I'm gonna let you say all the stupid stuff you want. I promise. W's in the chat for Darius for the $2 donation, saying yes, ICE has been moving pregnant minors across state lines into Texas to avoid giving them abortion. ICE is also has blackout areas where no one can see, talk to, or check minor girls. Only ICE knows what happens to them there. But pregnancy comes from somewhere. That's fucking crazy. W's in the chat for Michael with a $5 donation, saying mushroom coffee topic inspired me to say unpopular opinions for most,
bro,
but we can't get on board. But I can't get on board with matcha. I don't think I've ever had matcha. Please let me finish grifting. Thank you. W's in the chat for Casey for the $5 donation, saying on account of DEI. On account of I don't remember what that was for, Casey, but I appreciate you. W's in chat for Elizabeth for the $2 donation, saying the brand is called Rizzy. It's got 200 milligrams of mushroom, 100% vegan, support energy, mood, focus, immune system, digestive system, longevity. Mix it with creamer and a little sugar. It's delicious. Even it comes to, you know what the problem is? Like I'm such a creature of a creature of habit. I make my coffee, and my coffee has to be exactly the same every single day. Like I don't like new stuff. Like with like my everyday routines, if I do it every day, I have to do it every day. I don't know. W's in chat for Matt, who sent a $5 donation. Say, hey Santana, not a Dem. Don't support Trump though, but respect you and see your viewpoints and can't knock you. I do drink coffee, whatever. Stop making fun. It's more than milk and sugar. It's coffee. My wife said that I only drink milk and sugar, but I drink coffee. I see your viewpoints and I can't knock you, but also 9% sure I'll be working for your NFL team next season. So you supporting each other. Hey, W's in the chat for you. You gonna be working for the Panthers? Let's fucking go. We got to connect. W's in the chat for Jordan for the $20 donation, saying one, tell the caller questioning white privilege to do some research for hashtag crimes while white. And number two, yes, mushroom coffee is a thing. I got a free sample in my HelloFresh box a couple of months ago. 3, don't tell Parker, but I think I like you better. I'm going to FaceTime him and tell him. I'm going to tell him, Jordan. W's in the chat for Jordan. W's in chat for Brenda for the $1 donation. And the issue I have with Pramila Jayapal and Elizabeth Warren is that they choose to endorse Daniel Biss instead of the Palestinian candidate, I can't say the last name, in Illinois. I'm going to have to look into that. I'm going to look into that, Brenda. W's in chat for Matt Scrum for $5 donation saying white privilege is not having the talk with my white sons. I'm sure he has no idea what the talk is. W's in chat, Matt Scramble. W's in chat for Tess for the $10 donation saying, by the way, secret to the best coffee is when you make it, use a tamale wrapper instead of a paper filter. Whatever, Tess. Tess just chose violence. And W's in the chat for Trey for the $5 super chat to say, there's this white privilege. He just said put white against every other race combined, claiming they're the minority. It's fucking wild. It's wild. W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Did he run? And that's how you lose a man in 90 seconds. W's in the chat. That's how you lose a man in 90 seconds. If anyone ever wondered how to get rid of him, he left the entire live. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No, but I have a few questions about like critical race theory.
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second.
It's okay.
What the fuck on my background does it say anything about critical race theory? Who started teaching critical race theories? I don't know what the fuck just happened there. Debbie's in chat for Jared for the $1 donation saying, True Teller makes unfrosted mini wheat seem pleasant. Yeah, he does. He sucked. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something in the background? Okay. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Tired in Tennessee, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to request.
It's okay. Why are you tired in Tennessee?
Because it's a red state and it's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. I understand. Hey, what are you in the like the Eastern time zone or the Mountain Standard time zone of Tennessee?
Eastern.
Okay. You like Rocky Top?
No.
I don't either. That's okay. All right, I'm gonna drop you down, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter. Guys, you know what I've realized? Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I am not a Trump supporter, but I disagree with the new constitution.
That's what's up. Why?
Because in our constitution that we already have, and sorry, I'm nervous.
Why?
In Article 5, I said I'm nervous, so I'm sorry.
No, I said why?
In Article 5, because there's a lot of people. It's my first time on live.
Oh, it's fine. It's just all my friends. We're just hanging out. It's okay. They're really chill. They're kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of you, Parker and Dean.
I don't have fans. I have fans as well. We're just friends.
But in Article 5, our founding fathers said that we are able to make amends to the Constitution. As time goes on, things are going to change throughout our society.
You can keep going. I'm sorry.
That's kind of all I I feel like our founding fathers have already gave us the okay to make the changes and amends.
Yeah. Hey, what's the definition of insanity?
I don't know the definition, but basically crazy.
No, it's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We've done like the articles and amendments and stuff, right?
Yes.
How's that worked out for us?
I feel like to some extent it has worked, but then in other areas it has also failed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any specifics I can give on that. But I just know in some aspects it's gone good for us people. In other aspects it has not been.
Hey, you
for the
remember
best.
when black people used to not be people?
Yes. And I disagree with that. We're all human. We all believe
Yeah, I
the same.
disagree with that too. Because like, you know, that was kind of fucked up. But the Constitution used to let black people not be people. You know what's the thing that makes that lets black people be people?
I want to say to be given rights, but I know that's wrong.
No, which part of the Constitution? Which amendment?
Oh, none of it.
No, 14th. Or birthright citizenship. Right?
Right. That is right. Yes.
Hey, what is Trump taking to court this or trying to get the Supreme Court to like overturn
the birthright citizenship?
Hey, wouldn't it be fucked up if they like overturned it and then black people weren't people anymore?
That would be fucked up.
Maybe we should just have a constitution that said all people are people.
I agree on that. I could say.
That's why I think we need a new constitution.
Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of brought up that the Article 5 does say that we can make changes to it. So
yeah, the entire premise of what I'm getting across is that like understanding that we have made like additions and changes to the Constitution, and while they have been successful in certain aspects, they've been unsuccessful in other aspects, and people's rights are constantly under attack. And so the biggest thing that I want to do is ensure that everyone is guaranteed the same rights, no matter who you are, and that like human rights shouldn't be up for negotiation. That's the basis of like, why I say that. And even more so, have you seen the Thomas Jefferson thing that I put on the screen?
Yes, I did see that.
So that is something that Thomas Jefferson was an advocate for, right? It's something that he truly believed in, and which fucked Thomas Jefferson, right? But overall, like the difference between times then and now, a lot of people hold on to the United States Constitution because they look at it as a quote unquote living, breathing document. But when you look at how it doesn't actually protect people, it's always under attack and it's often weaponized. Like it shouldn't be that way. And we have the ability to like keep the things that we need, right? And just make sure everyone has the things that we need and then build off of that. Because I always talk about like the Second Amendment right and the right to bear arms. Do you know when like we as everyday Americans had the guarantee that we had the right to quote unquote bear arms?
No, the exact year.
2008. 2008, when the Supreme Court ruled that individual gun rights were attributed to Americans under the Second Amendment. And so the point that I'm getting to, though, is like things when we talk about the actual Constitution being something that was written in a different time, a time where, people had muskets, they wore like buckles on their shoes and like they rode horses. The founding fathers could have never envisioned like the society that we live in today. And even more so, like Thomas Jefferson himself said that like the past can't rule the present. And that's a problem.
Yeah. History definitely repeats itself, and I feel like we all see it every day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have an issue with the premise of getting rid of the Constitution because people tend to think that it's like just this amazing document. But if you really look at it, it's literally it's something that was created for a moment in time, and I think a lot of us have like revisionist history looking back on it, and people have reverence for it because it's something that is still quote unquote standing the test of time. But it shouldn't be. We shouldn't be bound by the Constitution that was written by people that owned slaves and had wooden teeth and shit like that, and like died from a cold. Like why is the people who had wooden teeth? They used to shit standing up, and like, did you know that's why men used to wear high heels? They used to wear high heels because they used to shit on the ground so much, and they like would walk through it, and they didn't want to get their like shoes dirty. We shouldn't be listening to people that used to do that.
I agree on that. But that's kind of all I had, and why I disagreed is basically the Article 5 that's in the Constitution that says that we can make changes and amends. So
yeah. All right. I appreciate you.
All right. Keep up the good work.
You too, friend. Hey, you did a good job.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
I still won though. Boom. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. I was getting ready to say, you know what the problem is with me doing this later in the evening? I more so be with the shits and giggles later in the evening than the actual debates. That's the problem. I more times than not, I just want to have fun instead of really debating. That's the problem with me debating later in the evening. Oh, you just want to be breezy over here. I have no idea purposely. Oh yeah. Like, hey, did you know they used to wear wigs because like they had license shit? Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I'm not a Trump supporter.
You disagree with something on the background?
No. If I don't, kick me out. That's fine.
If you don't what?
If I don't, sorry, if I don't disagree with anything that you said on your back.
Why'd you come up?
I just wanted to ask you, because you said you like talking about global things that are maybe not on the, sorry, I struggle.
No, you're okay.
Give me a chance. Just need to breathe.
Take your time. Where are you from?
Thank you. I'm Irish.
Irish? Hey, I heard Irish people really like black people.
Of course we do. Sure, we're half black ourselves, man.
Which half?
Any half you want.
No, I've heard really good things about Ireland. I said I always wanted to go because, like, sincerely, I've heard that like Ireland treats black people really well.
I mean, like we have a history of oppression, so we know a lot of us know what it's like. Which is why basically what I wanted to ask you is what's happening in the US. I see it every day, and a lot of people in the world do. When do we start to say, right, enough is enough? Because what's happening in the US is it's been having an effect globally for so long, Santana. I've been saying this to myself, to everybody I know for the past 6 months to a year. I've only been watching you. I think I started with Dean. And then I went to Parker, and then I found you, and I love listening to you because you really do capture the essence of what are the real issues going on at the minute. And I see the how what's happening, how what's going on in the US now is affecting the rest of the world. It's not like it's only the US doing what they've always done, and no, it's not. That's how the world fails. The US has had too much power and influence for too long, in my opinion, in world politics. I think it's a real issue.
You know what it is? It's the perpetuation of imperialism, right? And like it's capitalism at its finest.
Yeah.
The fact that like we here in America, we deal in consumption and we deal in materials and we deal in like things more so than substance. And so since we're constantly consuming, we have to continue to feed the need for consumption, and whether it's consumption of goods or consumption of war or consumption of land or consumption of power, our country consumes. And you're not wrong, right? Like the fact that the United States of America has been the focal point of the world for so long, and then abusing the actual like trust that was given to us by our European allies. Like that's why most of Europe never spent time building their military, because, you know, we had NATO, we had alliances, we had, you know, our neighbors across the pond. And now like we have a fascist in power, but it's not just the fascist that's in power. It's about the people within our country who are like so self-centered and so involved in like capitalism that they're willing to throw everyone else under the bus. And that's perpetuated us for like years and years and years to be where we are today. And so like
I'm not trying to say that you're wrong. I'm just saying that people seem to think, I'm not saying you're one of these people.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
People are only seeing this now. I'm 25. I'm 25. There was a show on the BBC that I watched maybe last year. It's called The Corridors of Power. It's a very, very good show. I would recommend it to anybody who is a bit of a history buff, who wants to know what is really going on behind the scenes in terms of world politics. It's called The Corridors of Power. It's not parentheses. It's the colon. Should America have so much power in world politics? Something along those lines. It's basically how America has dealt with the last, like, how many, I'm not going to say G-sides, but like, you know, you go back to Bosnia, the Kurdistan under Saddam Hussein, all over the past maybe 40, 50 years. It just goes back and says, well, you know, America has always portrayed itself as a you know, a righteous country, but it's always had its own self-serving interest. I'm not saying the people have it, like yourself, but the government, the ruling class, has always had that. Like in the UK has always had it. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's not a one country does this. It's a Western ideology that, and it does tie into capitalism. It does come down to capitalism. It's the elite trying to hold on to the power that they have. It's consolidation.
Yeah. Well, and you can see like it's been this way since I always say World War II, but I have a friend who sometimes hangs out in here. He's super annoying. His name is Noah. And Noah said ever since World War I. But like ever since we switched over and we started to really shift gears and push the idea of the military industrial complex, it's been like even more, right?
Well, that was after World War II, after Pearl Harbor, right?
And that's why I say World War II. But Noah says World War I, but I say World War II. But like the whole thing has been like, that's why the U.S. has like been able to have so much power, and that's why our military budget has continued to grow, and that's why like we have military bases all over the world, right? Like it's really It's imperial nature. Like for anyone who is anyone who is unaware of this, the United States of America is the evil empire. Like,
do you know what it is, Santana? Do you know what it is? It's the equivalent. It's the modern equivalent of the British Empire.
Yeah. But and see, that's why I talk about the I wonder the reasons why I have like removed men leaders on the background is because when I talk about the like the path that the United States of America is on, that the last 5 superpowers, the things that they look at Noah, whatever Noah, the last 5 superpowers, they doing the same things before they collapse. Like the British Empire was one. Right, the USSR was another one. Like literally, we've seen the song and dance before, and honestly, it's just a matter of time before it happens to us, unless like something crazy happens. But we can't keep perpetuating the harm globally like we're doing. And the sad thing is that you have so many people in our country who don't understand or don't even care about how like the things that are happening here actually affect the rest of the world.
Yeah, and how it affects by how it affects the rest of the world, it's actually affecting themselves, but they don't realize that. It's you're right. It's so sad.
You know why though? Because they believe the hype. They believe the hype. It's America. We're number one. If you're not first, you last. And they like really believe that it's just the greatest country on earth, but yet like we can't even go to the doctor.
I mean, you have to take into like. How many people actually do their research? You know, they just listen to the first thing that they hear, and they go, yeah. They see a tagline, a headline on a post. They go,
we call them headline hoochies.
Headline hoochies.
Yeah, headline hoochies.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen,
I'm sure we have a name for them over here, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I appreciate you coming up. I'm gonna drop you down, okay?
No worries, man.
Also, good chat. I appreciate you coming. Even though you broke the rules, I was gonna kick you. Not gonna lie, my finger was hovering over the button to kick you, but then I heard your accent, and I was like, I want to hear what he has to say. It was there for a while. I was gonna kick you. Yeah, I appreciate you.
Santana, thank you for having me. You're a nice man. From what I can tell.
Have a good one.
Look after yourself.
Yep. All right, no more rule breakers. Guys, follow the rules. We're supposed to be debating. W's in chat for Casey. Oh, you sent a 5 set. I said DEI because I felt like the idiot would have called you that. He would have called me DEI. W's in the chat for Casey. Thank you for the 5. He literally would have. Goddamn DEI host. This is a DEI stream. I could definitely see that. Thank you for the fan. Santana is a DEI streamer. Fuck you, guy. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Oh my God. Yeah. I think this was actually an accident, but yeah, let's talk a little bit about removing men from leadership.
Okay. Sorry. W's in chat for Casey. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and links are in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Also, guys, hit that follow button. I'm trying to make it to 100,000 followers. Please and thank you. All right, floor is yours. Why do you disagree with removing men leader?
Well, first of all, huge fan. Been watching you for several weeks now, and I really enjoy your content here. But
welcome to the community.
I had some. Thank you. I guess I had more concerns than anything else about removing men from leadership, and that's more because, I feel like in my role and in my job, I wouldn't want to be selected out just because of, like what's between my legs. I wouldn't want the same thing to happen to men. And I know that you've talked about like men having high amounts of like ego and things like that, but I don't think it's like everyone. And so I would want the most, qualified person, no matter who they are, to be in a role of leadership in order to perpetuate our society and to help move us forward, if that makes sense.
You know what's the problem with that?
Tell me more.
When men have the option to pick the most qualified, they still pick the men.
That's heartbreaking.
Kamala Devi Harris was the most qualified candidate to ever seek the office of the presidency for her first term. She was way more qualified than Donald Trump. And men, specifically white men, showed up and voted for her at a higher clip than any other president in United States history. Like they
Wow.
would rather assign themselves to a 34 count felon, an adjudicated rapist, someone who was going to be the oldest president to ever be sworn into office. Like they just said, fuck all of that. No, thank you, black woman. And so while I do understand that, yes, in an ideal world, right, people should lean on merit, but when you talk about men and we have the propensity to lean into ego and machismo, we don't make the best decisions when it comes to allowing just the best people to step up and lead. It's really hard for men to swallow the pill as far as like following a woman. And that's just how the society is structured. So while I agree that in premise, it will work, like men will always pick men when given the option. I don't like, again, I'm saying this as a man, I don't have faith in men to actually pick the best option.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Do you have like a scenario of like when it's ever been opposite? Like, you know what I mean? Like where men have picked the best option?
I mean, I'm not saying that like men make the worst option every time. I mean, I think that would be a little hyperbolic, but what I am saying is that in a lot of scenarios, if you give the option of men to actually pick the best option or pick the best option or pick a man, that they're going to pick a man. Now, if they can get the best option and a man, they'll take it. I mean, again, I go back to think about this. Donald Trump's the only president in the United States history to never win an election against a man, right? And Donald Trump won against Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump won against Kamala Harris. But you throw Joe Biden in there, which Joe Biden, like he didn't have anything uniquely special that Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton didn't have, except he had a penis, right? I mean, that's the only uniquely special thing that he had. Yes, he was in the Senate for a long time. Yes, he was Barack Obama's VP, but the amount of time and Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. She was a senator. She has like law degrees. She was the first lady. Like she, not Secretary of State. Hold on, what was she? Was she secretary? Yeah, she was Secretary of State, but she had all these qualifications. Kamala Harris, same thing. Right. But in both instances, like a society as a whole, our country as a whole, and like even if you listen to the reason why, like it's just because she's a woman. And even you could take a look at like what happened down in Texas with James Tellerico and Jasmine Crockett. And let me see if I can find this video for you real quick if I have it saved. There was this video of let's see here. 1 second. I guess I don't have the video saved, but there's a video who came out of voting. And there was a lady and she's like, I love Jasmine Crockett. I love her. She's so amazing. She's a fighter, but we just need someone that can win. So even though I prefer Jasmine Crockett, I voted for James Tellerico. Right. And Jasmine Crockett is literally someone who has all the qualifications. I'm not knocking James Tellerico because I think he's an okay candidate, but he didn't have the qualifications when you stack him up against Jasmine Crockett, and that's just because it was a man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So you mentioned in one of your other lives about removing men from leadership for 32 years. Why specifically that long? Tell me what the reasoning is behind that.
I just made up a number. I was like, yeah, like 4 presidents, that sounds good. Okay. I do think that it has to be substantial enough though, like that would be a minimum, right? It has to be long enough to actually run through a couple of different election cycles. And I think that one problem that we have here in the US is that our electoral politics is so wishy-washy. You take a look at the ping pong back and forth as far as like Democrat, Republican, and then you take a look at China. Like China implemented a 50-year plan, right? We can't do that here in the US because our electoral politics. And now China has the benefit of being around for 5,000 years. But the point being is that we lose a lot of stability within our country because of the fact that our actual politics go back and forth so much.
Okay, interesting. I guess I just am not educated enough for this conversation, and I apologize.
No, you're doing great.
Drop me back down.
You're giving me a better argument than anyone else that has tried to do this, because usually they say, well, man, you can't remove, that's misandry. Why are you being sexist? That's what they usually say. So
well, now I'm pretty proud of myself. So
yeah,
thanks.
You did a good job. You still caught a fade though.
Well, can't win them all. So can I ask you one more question? Sure. About, so when it comes to this, you made up a number. So for the amount of time it's going to take for men to go on hiatus, what actual changes do you plan or hope to see for women to make in order for men to come back into leadership? What's the hey, we've hit the goal here?
Codifying rights.
Criteria.
Codifying rights. I think that men as a whole are too comfortable disenfranchising women. And men, we tend to look at women as like the weaker, the lesser. And codifying rights, and one of the things that specifically is Roe, right? No longer allowing men to say that what women can or cannot do with their bodies. I think that's super important, because men, for some reason, thinking that they have the ability to dictate to women, even though women are the ones that create life, is wild. It's weird. You know what I've always thought about? Tell me if you ever heard this before. The hubris of man is taking a bird, a creature that flies, right? Literally has the ability to fly anywhere that it wants. The hubris of man is taking a bird and put it inside of a cage.
I've never heard that before. No.
Yeah. Like how egotistical do we have to be to say this thing that has the ability to fly to actually go wherever it wants, and we decide that we want to own it and put it in the cage just for our edification? But that's the same premise that I have as far as men telling women that they have to have babies, or they can't have access to abortion. It's so weird. It doesn't even make sense. And so I think that the markers for me would be I think the only way that we could get things that we want, changes to the Second Amendment to make sure kids aren't getting shot in school, right? Maybe some healthy food. The only way we're going to get that is men aren't going to let that shit happen. We're not going to let that happen. So I would just want some real substance change, and I think that would happen.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That I have 2 boys, and I would protect them with my life. And I thinking of something like that happening is just unimaginable. So yeah, I would want to protect that too.
Yeah. Listen.
So Well, thank you for the conversation. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming
I
up.
know
I
this wasn't
appreciate
like
you.
a huge crazy debate, but yeah,
No, I was just saying, like, the problem I have, I got to stop doing lives at night, because when I do, I never really want to actually debate. I just kind of sit around and yap instead of debating. So this worked out.
well, if you want to yap, I have a couple more questions for you, if you don't mind, about the new constitution. Thoughts.
No one
So-
cares if you disagree. You can't come up here.
one
No, I'm
cares.
sorry. Go ahead.
Well, so my biggest fear about new constitution is that I would lose the few rights that I do have. Freedom of speech, all everything that's already been provided to me. So what's to prevent everyone from losing what we do have when a new constitution is created, or if a new constitution is created?
Yeah, a lot of people say that, right? And like, I understand that is absolutely something that's a plausible fear. Get out of here, Noah. But the thing that I do say is, like, I think it's worth it, right? And understanding that the only way that we can agree to do this is if we agree to give everybody the same rights, right? And I think that is something that is way overdue. And I think that is something that would be massively beneficial. But I understand the fears that people have. Like, a lot of the things that I talk about, like the reason why we don't do these things is because of fear. The reason why we don't engage in revolution is because of fear. And fear is just like the thing that's keeping us where we are. So it's scary. It's a gamble, but it's worth the risk if it pays off. Now, I know I'm being a little like hyperbolic, because like I haven't seen anyone else talking about getting a new constitution. But I would be with it. So I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, the founding fathers, I feel like, took a huge chance with creating a new constitution, because, I mean, they were rich, aristocratic, like, people themselves, right? And they took a huge chance of becoming nobodies, right? When they decided to create this constitution. So, like, what's the guarantee for us to, if a new one was built, to be successful?
Yeah, there's no guarantee. Nothing in life is guaranteed, right? Oh, damn. Oh, got it. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I was talking to management. Nothing's guaranteed overall, and I understand that, but like, the one thing that I try to tell people all the time when I talk about this stuff, while I have a flushed out thought process behind the necessity of it, I'm just the idea man, right? It's up to the smart people, like the people that are way smarter than me, to actually make it happen. So while I think that it's necessary, and I would be behind the effort, like I'm good with being the spokesperson and the champion and let the smart people do the smart stuff. I'm not the smart person. Like, there's people way smarter than me that can make this happen. I'm just the the man with the mic. And I think that's something we got to get back to, is like letting smart people do smart stuff. Everybody thinks that they can do everything, but like, just because you own a pair of glasses, that doesn't make you Beaker. Like, hey, yeah. So I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I appreciate you. Like I said, major fan. Really love watching you, and I appreciate you letting me up here.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
You as well. If you got that Beaker reference, you dope. Put a platypus in the chat if you got the Beaker reference. Let me see a platypus in the chat if you got the Beaker reference. I don't see no platypuses. Did nobody get it? I don't see no platypuses. Where's the platypi? Y'all ain't got no Ain't no platypi in the chats. See? Oh, y'all suck. I don't see no platypuses. No, the actual emoji, the platypus emoji, you can't type the word. That's a beaver. That's a goddamn beaver. There ain't no platypus. See? Y'all not even cool. W's in chat for Brittany for the $5 donation saying, I was driving, but yes, make smart cool again. Save a horse, ride a nerd. God damn. Wait, did y'all hear what she said? Wait. Oh, okay. Brittany said, W's in chat for Brittany. Brittany said a $5 donation said, I was driving, but yes, make smart cool again. Save a horse, ride a nerd. God damn. W's in chat for Brittany. W's in chat for Brittany. W's in chat for Glenn for the $1.99 super chat to say, Public Enemy said, don't believe the hype. I know that's right. W's in chat for Shady for the $25. Holy shit. Thank you for the $25 donation. Said, thank you, Santana. And then send another $25 super chat to say Muppets. Holy shit. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for those two $25 super chats. You guys are fucking amazing. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Gigi, you don't agree with white privilege?
No, I mean, I had an experience the other day that kind of shocked me in a way. I never felt that before. I had a white man that I've been helping, get his life together and everything. He says, I can help you because I have white privilege. Mm-hmm. And I said, how so, sir? How do you have this white privilege? Mm-hmm. What can you do for me? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I can help you talk to people because I have a way of doing. I'm like, sir. Mm-hmm. All right, well, I let that one go. And then the next one was, lying. I think he is lying. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, I could be born. I told him I could be born again.
That white man was telling you the truth.
Well, listen.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you
this. This is why I don't believe in it. Because
wait. Hold on.
God
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something really quick. Hold on.
If you were born again,
Gigi. Wait. Lock in for a second.
All right.
Okay. This is just me and you talking. Okay, just me and you. When white people get like super comfortable around you and like you really been vibing with them, they forget that you're black, right? Or me specifically, they forget that you're not white. They forget that you're black. And then they tell you shit that they only talk about with other white people. Mm-hmm. Like when they get like super comfortable, they forget that you're not white, and then they'll tell you shit that they're not supposed to say. That white man,
especially when they're drunk.
That white man wasn't lying to you. He meant that shit. I'm serious. He meant that.
Well, it's okay. It's okay for him to believe it. I don't believe it, because if God would ask me today or tonight, if I were unalive and God said, okay, you can be reborn again. You could be a white woman or you can be the person that you are. And I guarantee you, I'll tell God, I want to be the person that I am. So that's why I don't believe it.
I'll tell God.
You've done nothing over me. Nothing.
I would tell God that I would want to be Goku so I could always break my limits.
I get you. I got invited here, man. But you know what? Just because I said that in the comments, and I mean, that's my context.
Yeah. White privilege doesn't work that way, though, right?
How so?
Just because, white privilege isn't about the concept of religion and God and creation. It's literally the systems and structures that are put in place that continue to other anyone that's not white, right? It gives you the ability to move through society without additional roadblocks or barriers. I talk about the veil of darkness. The study that was completed was 9 million traffic stops, and the summation of that is that there were racial biases that caused Black people to be overwhelmingly stopped for traffic violations during the day, but at night, when they, like, police officers couldn't see, they just stopped people based off of like just traffic violations. And in that scenario, white people didn't even know that, like, they weren't doing anything special. They was just driving while white, right? But they weren't affected by those racial biases because, like, it was daytime out and the cops could see. But those are the type of things that lean into white privilege, right? It's not necessarily things that people always can see or know. It's just things that happen because of how our system, how the systems are currently constructed within our society. But then, like, the white man that was talking to you, he meant that. The reason why I
know he meant it.
Well, listen, the reason why I say, like, when I talk about like ending white privilege, I'm not going to be able to do that. The only ones going to be able to end white privilege is white people, and specifically white men. Like, white men don't listen to other people the same way they listen to white men. And so when he was saying, like, I can talk to people for you, there's this.
No, I don't need his help. Oh, fuck that.
I know, but you're thinking about him on an individual level. But what I'm saying is, if you look around the entire globe and the way that whiteness is upheld on a global level, right? Even in like Asian countries, how whiteness is upheld within Asian countries, it's a complete system that impacts the entire world. So while he might not be, you know, the best person as an individual or whatever, he's not wrong behind what he was trying to tell you. And that's why we got to end white privilege.
And that's why y'all invited me up here, because I guess, you know, I'm living in my bubble, I guess, because I'm just not having that shit. You can kiss my motherfucking brown ass. I'm sorry to cuss.
Yeah. I mean, I get you.
I'm not doing it.
I get you. I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't know.
Basically, you might need my help before I need yours. Who knows?
Mm. Yeah.
We all humans, and you never know what situation you're going to be in. And I might be your savior, and you don't even know. And I'll use my, you know, God-given saviorness.
You got God
I know it's not a word. I'm just saying.
You got God powers?
To help your ass.
What kind of God powers you got?
Oh, I have amazing godly powers. Because my thing is,
can you teleport?
I love, for some reason, and sometimes I get screwed over it, but for some reason, I'm a giver. I love, like, making a difference, and, you know, I just love to see things organized and making a difference.
Wait, so your God power is organizing stuff?
Yeah, I like helping.
Like,
I like making things better than
like putting stuff in neat piles, or are you talking about like spreadsheets?
Yeah, sort of something like that.
Wait, spreadsheets or putting stuff in neat piles? Because there's different types of organization.
Both. I have, you know, ADD, or, you know, whatever it's called.
HDMI?
Oh, I got the alphabets, man.
I think that, like, I understand what you're saying. Like, I think the entire religious approach to systematic oppression is
don't make fun of me.
Not going to work.
I really mean well.
Did you know that?
I mean,
have you ever heard of the Slave Bible?
No.
The Slave Bible was a Bible that was used by slave owners here in the U.S. During, you know, chattel slavery, where they took like different excerpts, portions and pieces out of the Bible in order to preach to the black slaves, to tell them, like, hey, God wants you to be slaves. This is how you're a good Christian is, and like, but the premise that
that's just using, people use the word just for their own gain, and that's actually wrong. You shouldn't do that. I don't believe in that. I think that people should have the right to choose their own religion. I believe, you know, all that good stuff. Like, you want to be, you know, whoever you want to be, I shouldn't have a problem with that. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you know, any children or anything that, you know, I don't see a problem with it. That's just me.
The point I'm trying to get across is like weaponizing your religion and like saying
right.
that, you know,
Understood. I know.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not the right person to talk to right now because I'm pretty liberal. I'm pretty,
How liberal?
I just made a comment here.
You're
maybe
a lib?
about.
You're a lib?
Yeah. Yes.
How do you feel
I
about
made a
borders?
comment, and maybe that's why I got
How do you
invited
feel-
up here.
how do you feel
because
about
maybe it was
borders?
controversial.
How do you feel about borders, Gigi?
Being a Hispanic woman, I think that we should have some rules with people coming over, but I think that the cruelty in which, this administration is handling things, it's definitely wrong.
Can everybody be racist?
That's a great question, man. I can't even answer that.
Try.
To a certain minute extent, some people can, and maybe to some greater extent, others can.
How do you feel about abortion?
I think that I shouldn't have any business into what anybody else does with their private life. I need to worry about my own kids and my own family. I shouldn't be looking out my neighbor's window. I'm pretty liberal, man. I'm from Massachusetts. And, my neighbors over here, I say hi, bye, that's it.
Gigi,
If I don't see anything
color?
weird that you're hurting anybody, if I don't see anything strange, like you're hurting like a child or abusing an animal or anything like that, anything that anybody who's vulnerable, then I have no problem with you, really. You can do whatever you want.
Gigi, do you see color?
Of course I see color, and it's beautiful. Color is beautiful. I think diversity is amazing because you have different, flavors. Like, you don't want to be everybody the same. That would be boring.
Is our country a melting pot?
Not anymore. Unfortunately, not anymore. I think that a lot of people are being discriminated upon, and it's disgusting. That's how I feel. So, like I said, I'm to your live, I might not be the perfect person to have up here. I agree with you, probably on like 99.9% of the times.
How do you feel about capitalism?
I made a comment. Capitalism, I think that capitalism is all right if you balance it out with socialism in a way, just to balance it out because you don't want to get out of control. If you have too much of something, no matter what it is, even if it's too much love, it's ridiculous. It's obsession. You know what I mean? It turns into obsession. So a balance is good for me. A good pH balance,
Yep. People stop letting other people fuck up your pH balance.
Yep. That's where it goes wrong. But you can drop me. I'm probably not the right person to debate because I'm not going to be. I'm pretty liberal, man.
Hey, can black people specifically be racist?
It's possible. I mean, if you go to an extreme.
Yeah.
Like if you say a bunch of racist things to another race, maybe. But yeah, it can go either way for any other race.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you go to that extreme, if you're really insulting people and doing all that stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Swan.
Try not to do that.
Hey, Santana, what's up?
Can black people be racist?
No, we cannot. We've never created a system or a structure that negatively impacts the material conditions.
Well, I went to a live the other day where somebody called me a burrito and this beaner, this and
Hey,
it was a
Gigi,
black woman.
Hey, Gigi. The start of your sentence shouldn't start in the middle of Swan's sentence.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And hurry up, Noah. Go ahead, Swan.
Yeah, no, Black people cannot be racist. We have never created a system or a structure that negatively impacts the material conditions of another group of people in mass. I'm done, Gigi. If you wanna, you can respond.
Juju got a
Well, I just got a restriction from TikTok.
Whoa, how'd she get
Did y'all report Gigi? I think I might let her talk too much. God damn, not the AI getting tired of her. Not the AI getting tired. I may have let her go on too much, Swan. I think that one was on me. That was
You
on
tried.
me, Swan.
You did try.
I didn't. I really didn't, Swan. I just let it go. Why the hell is Rob in the request? Have you ever talked to Rob, Swan?
I don't think so. I don't remember that name. Not on TikTok, at least.
This guy said anybody can be racist. Come up here and tell us about it, Bub. I'm going to mute you. And I'm going to send you a request.
You know, if someone does come up here to debate, this would actually be my first time debating ever on a TikTok live.
Mm-hmm. I've never debated before either. And I have no idea who Charlie Kirk is.
Sounds
There's
like
people in the request, but I kind of don't want to let them in, Swan.
I don't know.
You pick somebody.
Oh, man. I was going to say, go with your first spine, but... All right, let's see. I can't do Rob. Rob is off the charts for me.
Hello?
Hi, Jay.
What's up? Hi, Swan. Hi, Santana.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'm sorry if I'm like underage, but I have one question.
You're a whole baby. You can't be up here. Santana, if black people use racial slurs against Mexican person, is that racist? If you ask stupid questions in the comments, will I answer it? Nope. I just muted you. Come up here and let's talk about it. Swan, you want to try again?
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to pick Rob. I have spoken to Rob before. Now I recognize who Rob is. A mess. Mel? Mel, are you there? Okay, listen, she doesn't know she's up here. Let's see. D Grant, do you know you're up here?
Yes, I do. How are you guys?
Well, I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So I was going to retract my question because someone kind of asked the same question. I'm actually asking a question out of ignorance. I am African American, and I had the same question. I'm truly learning about being racist, and someone asked a question and Santana just said he asked a dumb question, and I kind of have the same question. Like,
I didn't say that. That's ableist.
Okay, well, I apologize.
Yeah.
However, I wanted to know if I am around some of my friends and they are, say they use they tease someone who's of another race, using a change in a voice or something like that. That's not racist.
I think it depends on who it's coming from. So racial stereotypes would be rooted in upholding whiteness. They exist to essentially generalize an entire group of people, but that generalization for non-white people is generally going to be something that's harmful towards them because that's who is harmed by racism. So yeah, I think it depends. Like, for example, if a Black person says a slur towards an indigenous person, that would be anti-indigenous, right?
Right.
If a white person was to say a slur to an indigenous person, that would be racist. Because whiteness is pedestalized when we talk about the hierarchy of racism. Now, we're all indoctrinated to pedestalize whiteness, and we're all indoctrinated to essentially have these negative views of, you know, people that are not white, to have these negative views of ourselves and other POC, but we don't benefit from those negative stereotypes. That's something that benefits white people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I've been in an environment years ago. I'm actually 60, and years ago I was in an environment where I worked with white people, and because I don't portray the Blackness that I am, meaning that I don't have super kinky hair, or because my mom is Italian, Black, and Hispanic, and my dad is Black. And I've only identified as Black and will always identify as that. That's how I was raised. So I worked around a bunch of white women, and I had to endure, of course, this is in the 80s, a lot of comments. And I am able, because I don't look as I really wished I did, I'm able to hear comments that they would not say around, say, one of my best friends who's dark skinned, and you can clearly see she's Black. You know what I'm saying? And so I was able to hear all of those things. And I, to this day, I still am able to hear it. And just the other day, I went to Walmart and I was stopped by ICE and asked if I were a citizen. And until I opened my mouth, and I've never spoke Spanish, don't understand it. And until I opened my mouth, and one of the agents were Black, then they didn't let me go until, you know, I had to kind of prove it. And that's been something I've been facing. So when I'm with my friends, and if they say something, say someone's driving and they may be Chinese or something, and then they make a slur to them, inside, I always ask myself, are they racist? Is that a racist remark, or is that just a derogatory remark, you know?
Yeah, I think it depends on, like, so Chinese would be like a nationality, ethnicity. So if they were saying something negative towards a Chinese person, it's coming from white people. It's xenophobic and racist. Okay. Because it's more specific to just Chinese people. But in terms of what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, right? Because you may not necessarily present as a Black person, I guess what a stereotypical Black person would be, right? Very like tight curls, and then you also not having dark skin. There is going to be like a closer proximity to whiteness that you have, right, than someone like myself. For example, I'm a dark skinned Black woman, right?
Yeah.
And that does definitely, I think we see the result of that. Like, it's colorism is really what it is. But when it's coming from white people, it's racism. So I understand what you're saying in terms of them saying these things. It is because of how you present, and not necessarily presenting like a Black person, if that makes sense. It's wrong. It's definitely wrong. It's rooted in racism, xenophobia, all of those things. But yeah, I would say that that's, correct them.
Well, thank you for this lesson, because it's something that's in the bottom. I'm sorry, Santana, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go ahead and finish your sentence. I can wait.
I was just saying that it's something, I'm so happy that you guys are discussing this, because my mother raised me to only believe that. Her roots aren't all the way rooted in that. And so there is, and I didn't have my father in my life, which was, who is the Blackness in my family. And I had to figure things out for myself. And these lessons weren't taught to me. And in my generation, we're kind of ignorant to all of this. And this is something you have to learn along the way. But I do want to be correct. And I do want to understand and learn. And Santana, I'll watch you everywhere you go, whatever platform you're on. And so I've learned a lot through you, and I appreciate it so much, because I want to be able to raise my children, because my husband is Black, and I wanted to be able to raise them to have the full understanding and not be ignorant as they go through life in these Ivy League schools and things like that. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming up, and even more so, like, I think that because when I said what I said in the comments, I said it too quick and too strong, but the point that I want to get across to people, and something that I want to make sure they know, is like, when you talk about racism, it's not just like just words. I think that a lot of people get caught up on like just saying names or words or slurs or whatever, but it's so much deeper than that. And I just, like, I hate the premise of, as far as like people reducing it down to just the word, because then it lets people off the hook to say, well, I didn't say the N word, how can I be racist? And so that's the only thing that like I necessarily have an issue with when it comes to that. So, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for you know, coming up here and actually and speaking to us. So
thank you both for the lesson. I appreciate it. I'm gonna continue to listen and learn.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
No, wait, Noah, did you want to say something?
I don't know how to get
Oh,
out.
no, I didn't have anything. I thought you wanted me to be silent.
I do, because that's where men supposed to be, in the kitchen, silent.
Facts.
Yeah. No,
Let me
did
get
you want to
back.
say? Did you want to say something? Anything to her? I don't know if you heard what she was saying. I didn't know if you had anything for her.
I wasn't listening too much. I'm not gonna hold you. I did want to say something to Gigi. I was really curious on what she thought socialism was.
You see the screen?
I love it. She's for the gays.
Oh, wow. Santana, I don't mean to interrupt. I don't know how to get out.
She's an ally.
Yeah, I'll drop you down. Hold on, let me show YouTube. I mean, let me show Twitch and Instagram.
Look, she's expressing more solidarity in the chat right now.
What did she say? Yeah. You know what I want to talk about? I'm probably gonna get in trouble because I want to talk about this, but I still want to talk about it. Or actually, I don't know if I should talk about it because I'm kind of tired and we got to go. And then I got to fly tomorrow. Like, literally. I haven't even started packing. That was in chat for Jared. Jared, thank you for the $1 donation. Said Muppet Babies was the GOAT cartoon. Muppet Babies was a GOAT cartoon. And that was in the chat for Brennan Maybe, who sent a $2 super chat to say, like the sub bell. I know that's fucking right. That was in the chat. That was in chat for all the donos. You know what I want to talk about? Fuck it. I'm going to talk about it because I want to talk about it. And, you know, somebody said, the chat, no, they don't. They know Noah. Why the fuck would Noah need to introduce himself? No, absolutely not. I don't know why. No. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about anti-Blackness. I want to talk about diaspora wars. I want to talk about Black people that feel like it's necessary to invalidate other people's Blackness. That's what I want to talk about.
Well, you know, I agree. I think that is something that we haven't faced, not to this degree at least. And it's definitely a hot topic.
I think it's weird as fuck for people to sit here and try to pretend that Black people in the US don't have a level of privilege. And just because we are going through some type of suffrage doesn't mean that other Black people aren't dealing with suffrage throughout the entire world, and even more so than the suffrage that we deal with. I also think that like FBA is weird as fuck. If you're FBA, I was gonna say something mean, but I'm not gonna say it. Like, I just like the premise that you feel like you need to separate. Oh, you're Black Americans. You know, you're not from here. And I give the example all the time when I'm talking like white people, and I'm like, yeah, you know, can you tell? Am I Ethiopian? Am I Kenyan? You know, where am I from? And they say, oh, you kind of look Dominican or something. I'm like, no, I'm just black. But the thing that always makes my ass itch is when Black people parrot white supremacy talking points and look to uphold whiteness by separating Black people from other Black people. I don't know.
I think it's an important discussion. I don't think I can rightfully sit here and know that we, you know, are subjected to the things that people who are dealing with G-side, right? People whose entire infrastructure has been destabilized and constantly been utilized, you know, by Western imperialism.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely harmful, extremely problematic. And although we do experience things here, one thing that I've been just saying to a lot of people, y'all heard it from me first, okay? You heard it from me first. We must understand as Black people, all across the diaspora and on the continent, that we are the master of our own experiences, but must be a student to the experiences of other Black people across the diaspora and on the continent. And if we can approach these discussions from that perspective, then there's an understanding. When I talk about my experience, I'm not going to negate yours and it doesn't lessen yours, and vice versa. And I think that understanding the different ways in which our oppressor or white supremacy harms Black people globally, then we have all the pieces to the puzzle. You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer for me. I'm always going to empathize with those that look like me, even the ones that have really shiny shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now they can't sit at my table. They can't sit at my table, but I also am educated enough on understanding how it is that somebody gets to that point. So they can't sit at my table, but I will also, you know, discuss that type of behavior with others and that type of reaction with others so that they can then learn from it. But that's my take on it.
Yeah. No, put your fucking hand down. You're up here. Just come off mute. What are we doing? What is happening?
I'm trying to exercise decorum.
This is not late nights. This is sparring.
No, like the FBA stuff and formerly ADOS, it makes me really sad because I feel like it exposes how tenacious anti-Blackness is.
Yeah.
Because FBA and ADOS, right, in my mind, it comes from a place of genuine grievance, right? Genuine experiences with oppression and sort of grasping at anything possible to try to like resolve these contradictions of anti-Blackness. And it's just crazy to me to see the solutions and the movements that people latch onto only end up reproducing and reconstituting anti-Blackness. Like, I don't know if you've seen this. You have FBA folks on Twitter trying to clock people as Black American or not by like doing phrenology. There is literally like race science, like what size is the skull to nasal ratio to figure it out. Like, it's spooky.
Oh God. I don't know. And maybe it's the fact that like I love Black people. I do. I genuinely love Black people. And I just, the idea of invalidating anyone's Blackness in any aspect is something that makes me sick to my stomach. Even like fucking Joel Patrick, tap dance and fucking dweeb. I still won't let anybody invalidate his Blackness. So I don't know. Like, it's just, I hate it overall. And to see people like leaning in and attacking people and then actually pushing the premise that like someone is doing something harmful for calling out the privilege that Black people have in the US. I've said this, like if you're a black person that's in the US and you can't see the harm that all that black people around the globe are experiencing, it's either one, because you're closing your eyes to the experience of everyone else, or two, you just never left the country, so you have no idea what's happening. So yeah.
To be honest, I feel like what it is people don't have a grasp on imperialism. And I think there's been like a death of internationalism among Black Americans in particular, which makes me really sad because internationalism was always a part of the Black radical tradition, right? Like, I think Malcolm X has a quote that said, like, you can't free Black people in Mississippi if Black people in the Congo are being oppressed, right? Like, there was a way of understanding our struggles as interconnected. And I think it's been replaced with this sort of nationalist sentiment under the pretense of care for marginalized communities. Like, we got to take care of our people first over here before we look to elsewhere, without realizing that the entire sort of capitalist imperialist structure needs to fall.
Mm-hmm. And injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. Hey, Zara.
Any permittance of seeing Black people anywhere in the globe as less and consumable ensures that the entirety of us will be seen less and consumed. I wanted to come up here with this topic to add that there is tangible consequences for these lines of thinking that we are criticizing. There is an Afro-Latina trans woman in the States. She's internally displaced and fleeing, as many other trans people are fleeing from state to state. And the consequence of, she is fled to where I fled from, knowing that it's in relative terms safer, but not safe. As we know, I fled to Canada. And the groups that I thought would take her in, I am appalled are not. So I was trying to connect her to the Black groups that I know, and one of them has already declined her acceptance because she's Afro-Latina instead of simply stating herself as Black. And even though she's already being consistently degraded, torn down, racially harassed, and called the N-word repeatedly in the streets of Portland, that doesn't seem to be enough in terms of all her other suffering that is no different than mine, to be welcomed into the Black groups and spaces over there. So this idea, these lines of thinking are tangibly setting up the most marginalized within our diaspora, within our community, to abandonment. It's not just arguing on TikTok. It's the quiet way Black people are being selective on who is Black, and yet the larger society has no care. They're not going to see her and go, oh, she's Afro-Latina from Puerto Rico. Never mind, I'm going to stop calling her the N-word now. Never mind, I'm going to listen to what she has to say because she's not quote unquote American Black. Let me just listen real close. Now I have the capacity to go past race bias and just affirm everything she's saying. That's not happened. And so this is having a tangible result where I'm having to make sure with the GoFundMe I'm doing, it's a little plug, not gonna lie, the GoFundMe I'm trying to do for her welfare is because the groups I thought that would take her in are not.
Yeah. Like that hits at the core of what I like try to preach all the time. Like, and that's why it hurts me so much when like Black people want to fight Black people so bad, because at the end of the day, like once we finish fighting amongst ourselves, then like people who are engaging in white supremacy, they're still going to actually, no matter which Black person wins, you're still going to be an N-word to them, and they're still going to actually inflict harm on you. Like, that shit is wild. Oh, Swan, why are you raising your hand? If I see one more hand in the chat, I'm dropping everybody. Like, I swear, I'm just dropping the whole panel if I see somebody else put a hand up.
Oh, my bad. Do I have your permission to just like read something quick from a CIA.gov?
Swan, stop being a fucking nerd and just go.
I gotta make sure. You know
Do I have your permission? Swan.
All right, so I just want people to understand how anytime we follow the trail of division amongst Black people that is causing friction and harm, it is always going to lead us to white supremacy. And I think that for those of us that have this level of knowledge and understanding, it's important to steer conversations in that direction. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it's important for people to be able to recognize and identify that this is uncomfortable and it's not okay, but there is something else much bigger at play. So this is something that I came across. One of my, y'all know Cubby, she came across this and shared it with us. I thought it was very interesting. This is the CIA in African studies. It should not be surprising that it was the CIA which played the crucial role in stimulating interest in African affairs in the United States. In the late 50s, the political handwriting on the African wall was quite visible to Washington super sleuths, even if the State Department seemed blinded by its racist loyalty to its British and French allies. In 1954, it was the CIA that put the African American Institute on a solid financial footing in close cooperation with the American Metal Climax Corporation, the African mining concern whose chairman became the AAI's big angel. And that year, when Boston University launched its own African intelligence to head it up, as the nation's chief central intelligence agency, the CIA understood that generating information and contracts in Africa was a priority if the U.S. was to be assured access to the continent's emerging political leaders and economic resources. And then where is it? Okay, yeah, this last part. In late 1956, Max Millikan, the economist who took a leave of absence from MIT to become a deputy director of the CIA, and then returned to direct that university CIA subsidized Center for International Affairs, invited a former State Department employee, Arnold Rivkin, to develop and direct an African research program at MIT. Rivkin worked out a suitable research design with fellow Professor Walt Rostow, an intelligence officer and close advisor to Lyndon Baines Johnson. It's a big deal, if y'all know who that is. Now in exile with that war criminal in Texas, Rivkin's assignment was to forge policy proposals within the context of a broader free world, quote unquote, framework. Standard procedure at the MIT Center at that time was the practice of publishing books in two versions. One classified for circulation within the intelligence community, and the other sanitized for public consumption. White supremacy almost has this like invisible hand, right? And it'll always fuel these wars, these diaspora wars, right? Or even disagreements between Black people here and Black people on the continent. Yesterday, I had a discussion with a group of people that said, why didn't anybody from the continent of Africa come and save us? And I thought to myself, well, this is white supremacy. That information isn't going to be at your fingertips. But when you do research it, you will find that there were many attempts. Europeans set up trade ports on the west coast of the continent of Africa, which pushed African people inward. Europeans were militarized. They had cannons, muskets, all of those things. So African people, they would target the ports, right? And then if they were able to get into a ship, obviously they'd be able to come to the United States, but then they have to figure out trying to navigate that, right? But also, during that time period, we know that Europeans, right, were enslaving African people on the continent and subjecting them to the same thing, right? We don't know that because of our education system. It's not going to give us the tools, right, to be able to understand our oppression so we can push, or find our way out of it. And I think that that's something that people have to understand. If they would have had that knowledge, they wouldn't be sitting there with that level of turmoil within them and wanting to spit out all of this anti-Black rhetoric. Right? If they knew and understood that there were attempts that were made, then they'd be, we'd be having a much more elevated discussion.
Completely agree. Completely agree. Not to cut this short overall, because I think this conversation is important, but I have to start wrapping it up. Have to spend time with management before I get ready to take off. But I did want to give the floor to Zara, Noah, and you one more time as well, Swan. Also, W's in the chat for Maggie. Maggie, thank you so much for the $25. You said breakfast and coffee. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maggie. W's in the chat for Maggie. Zara, I want to give you the floor. I know this ended up being like a sporadic topic, and like I just kind of shifted gears, but anything else you want to talk about?
Yes, two things, and I'll be quick with them. The first is being half black, half white. I grew up with a clear tension and a violent dynamic between blackness and whiteness. And as I've been studying and as I've had more exposure online, I'm quite saddened and disturbed to see how far in turmoil the zeitgeist within the Black diaspora is, because I thought this was obvious. And to come on here and see there's so much infighting and spiraling is just grim, which what makes me so thankful for this kind of platform and the work that you, Swan, Noah, and others are doing in order to challenge this and actually unify the people, because it's quite desperate. And it's very unfortunate that unity, which seems so obvious and quite frankly common sense to me, is not the case. And secondly, I just wish to say once again that I'm doing a GoFundMe for Afro-Latina trans woman named Petra. If people can please just either DM me or look at my profile. I'm doing readings and teachings as a fundraising for this. Please remember that trans activists who are saying how much we're in danger seem to always overlook us, Black transgender people, overlook the realities of those that are fleeing actively. It's contemporarily happening to us and a multitude of endangerment, but we don't get that recognition or concern. So, and then as I'm saying as well, within the Black community, there also can be rejection, denial, or an obfuscation of any mutual care for our safety. So please look at my profile or just ask to DM or have me DM it to you, and please spread it around. Thank you very much. That was it.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, sorry guys, but we gotta cut this short. Apparently, someone's feelings got hurt and they started doing the weird shit. So I'm just gonna say, Noah, Swan, you guys of course are invited back some other time, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and drop you guys down, and we're gonna call it here, okay?
Thanks for having us up.
Right,
yeah, appreciate you.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here relatively quick just because I don't want anything to happen to the main account. So we're going to hit this outro and we are going to go. Also, fuck you, cowards.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you.
Holy shit, guys. Whoa. Sorry. Massive fucking W's in the chat for BC. BC3713 sent a $300 YouTube super chat. Oh my fucking God. Said, keep it up, man, and give voices to those who deserve it. Holy fuck. Thank you so much for that $300 donation. That is crazy. Also, Sandy, thank you so much for the 10. Like, you guys are fucking amazing. You guys are so amazing. I mean that. I really, really mean that. BC, as far as like giving voices, like if I can ever use my platform to elevate the voices of those people that deserve it, I always want to do that. That's why I love having people up to actually push the things that people need to hear, because I'm not always the right messenger, but sometimes I'm just the right person to connect the right messenger. But holy shit, thank you so much for the love. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. You guys have been fucking crazy tonight, especially because I was kind of debating, kind of not debating, but I'm just glad you guys hung out with me. I really, really mean that. I think I'll be back in the morning. Hopefully I'll be back in the morning. But I got to get out of here. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. Love you. How the debates doing? The debates are kind of debating, Dean, but we're getting out of here. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for all the love. I love you all. And as always, peace.